Bienvenidos a nuestro canal, en esta ocasión más Genshin Impact. La última vez habíamos hecho senderos peligrosos y ahora vamos con Umbrabilis Orchis, misión legendaria de Yelan. Debido a su avanzada edad, el eje celestial, una de las 7 estrellas del Leeway, se halla en un estado de salud delicado y urge elegir a un sucesor. Mientras los 3 candidatos hacen uno por uno su puesta en escena, su puesta en escena, y tras un examen aparentemente tranquilo, parece haber presente una fuerza invisible capaz de agitar las aguas. En una partida de ajedrez, incluso un gran maestro puede equivocarse. A pesar de ser pocos los que merecen el primer puesto, son muchos los que sin saberlo forman parte de la partida. Ya, ok. Axel, Paimon, me alegra de verlos de nuevo. Sí, no tuvo actualización de voces, ¿sabes? Porque el juego se me pegó en esta ocasión.
Thanks to the help of people like you and colleagues like Ganyu, better all the time. But I've been feeling distracted at work lately. I just feel constantly agitated.
¿Ocurrió algo?
It's a long story. But my father, he's thinking of stepping down from the Tianshu position due to health issues.
Entendible.
What's wrong with Uncle Tian?
Nothing specifically. He's not unwell. He says he's just increasingly low on energy these days. He's always said, old age comes for us all in the end. Still, I just can't help but feel a little emotional watching it happen to him. Anyway, my father's currently on the 2nd floor of Yangsheng Tea House. Why don't you come pay him a visit with me?
Okay, me parece bien.
He's very fond of you too. I'm sure chatting with you will make him very happy.
Qué bueno.
Sure, let's go.
Parece bien. Vamos. Una apuesta calculada. Umbrabilis Orchis, acto 1. Ok. Allá vamos, ¿no? Oh. Ya, aquí estamos. Hola.
Uncle Tian, we're here to chat with you.
What a lovely surprise. Welcome. Oishi, why don't you go downstairs and get the shopkeeper to make us a fresh pot of tea?
Perfecto.
I heard that you've been traveling all over the place recently. I would very much like to hear your adventure stories.
Nos preocupa tu salud, tío Ten.
Oishin told you, didn't she? Don't worry. I'm quite alright. It's just the years gradually catching up with me. As I grow older, I'm starting to find that with many things, though the mind is willing, the flesh is weak. Especially recently, I've noticed a rather drastic drop in my energy levels. I am still very much in good standing as the Tianshu today. Nevertheless, I wish to pass on the position before my mental acuity begins to decline beyond redemption.
How difficult is it to transfer the Tianshu position?
Oh, well, you see, The Tianshu is a rather unique position among the Liyue Qixing. Historically speaking, the Tianshu rarely appears in public. We stay behind the scenes, planning and giving advice. So a public selection process would not be suitable. We
Entiendo.
also want to keep any prospective Tianshu candidates free from influence by outside forces, so we tend to be as discreet as possible in their assessment and appointment. For these reasons, the incumbent Tianshu typically recommends their candidate of choice, and this is then approved by the other Qixing members.
So in other words, you pick someone, and then Lady Keqing, Lady Ningguang, and the other Qixing appoint them?
Correct. Unfortunately, due to my health, I won't be able to assess every candidate myself. Not to despair, however, because I found someone exceptionally capable to act on my behalf as assessment officer. In fact, I believe you recently became acquainted with her yourself.
Sí.
Oh? Who is it?
I'm heartbroken. I thought it might take you a little longer than this to forget all about me.
It's Yelan!
Yep. Es Yelan.
Jackpot. Uncle Tien here asked me to assess 3 candidates for him.
De acuerdo.
Fancy joining me? You'll be among the first to get to know the next Tianshu. Might be a good opportunity for you.
What do you think?
Suena bien.
Paimon thinks so too. It can't be a bad thing to be on good terms with a new Qixing, right?
Alright then. Though, I gotta say, Uncle Tien, you say you're into behind-the-scenes planning? My work's of the covert variety too. Don't you think I might make a good Tianshu?
Yelan, you want to be the next Tianshu?
I'm not opposed to the idea, but I suspect Ningguang wouldn't let you go very easily after how long you've been working together.
De hecho.
So, how about this? If your investigation reveals that none of the other candidates are qualified for the position, I'll recommend you for the job.
Deal. Well, you guys take your time. Everything's all set for the assessments to go ahead. Meet me on the first floor when you're ready. Until then, have a pleasant conversation.
De acuerdo.
Oh, and no need to pay for your tea. As the new owner of this fine establishment, this runs on the house.
Ah, qué bueno. Le cuenta la centura al tío Tan y
You're
vuelven
all
a la
set?
entrada. Sí.
Uncle Tien seems really worn down. It's like all his energy's gone.
Yeah, it may sound harsh, but Uncle Tien is past his prime. He's not cut out for this anymore. So he's recommended 3 candidates. Their names are Qinwei, Mingbo, and Zhi. Qinwei is a wealthy entrepreneur. Mingbo works at the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs, and Zhi is focused on study and travel. Try to keep all that in mind. Of course, it doesn't really matter if you forget, since we'll be assessing them at Yuehai Pavilion in a short while.
De acuerdo.
Tianwei, Mingbo, Zhi. Paimon should be able to remember their names, but what does the assessment involve exactly?
Let's leave that until we get to Yuehai Pavilion.
De acuerdo.
All right. Heads in the game, people. The stakes don't get much higher than a change in the Qixing. We can't afford to miss anything, no matter how small.
Got it. We'll keep our eyes wide open.
Ok.
Ragnarok te bloedge. Sed. Yelan es tipo agua.
Sí. Es de agua. ¿Vamos? Por allá, ok. Sí, es de agua. Y es solo de agua. Ok. Sí. ¡Wow! Pensé que... Pensé que que como hay algunos FPS que se están cayendo ¿cómo se llama? No era que no había terminado de cargar el puente, pero no. Y ponemos flota para que use zapatos, para no estar descalza. Para eso, para no estar descalza.
My legs are getting sore. What is wrong with this assessment officer? This is a huge occasion and I don't even get a chair.
Huh.
I've dealt with all kinds of people in my time, but never have I been made to stand while I'm waiting for an appointment.
Ah. Oh, amigo mío. Qué mal, qué mal.
Oh, I mean, I think it's fine.
That's called being complacent. If you're happy to just accept the way things are, you'll never be able to change anything in the future.
Huh.
Oh, come on. That's just... Now you're just... being unreasonable.
All right, you two. Let's not get into a big argument over this. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for. And Mingbo, cut him some slack. We've all been standing around for a while. It's natural to be getting irritable. Look, how about this? There's no rule saying we're obliged to stand up while we wait, so why don't we borrow some chairs from the guild nearby?
Fine. They're not the best quality chairs, to be sure. But under the circumstances, it would be better than nothing.
It looks like all 3 candidates have arrived.
¿Eso eran esos 3?
Mm-hmm. We'll meet them formally soon. Before that, let me run you through the assessment process.
Okay.
I've split it into 2 stages: current affairs and planning, and face-to-face interview. In the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In the second stage, we will ask them some questions in person.
Okay.
Writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance. These are the reports they submitted.
Wow, one of them is really thick.
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed as the new Tianshu will be expected to implement their plan as put forward in their manifesto.
Okay.
Failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan. Therefore, these 3 piles of documents in front of us represent where each candidate stands on key policy issues.
Okay.
There's still some time. Have a skim through, get a first impression of what each person's proposing. I'll be waiting off to the side. Just let me know when you're done.
Desde el primer día que ella salió, vestido Loli, desde el primer día que ella salió yo tiré por Yelan y me salió. Okay.
Finished?
Almost.
Okay. Examina las propuestas de los candidatos. Ok. Vamos a sentarnos. Y a ir leyéndolas todas, ¿no? Plan de Shinji. Ok. Dice. La propuesta de... Ah, espérese. Rayos. Parece que Shinji lo esencial parece que lo de Shinji resolver espérese. Espere. Ah, man, no pude leer. Ok. Propuesta de Minji. Rayos, se me fue. Es que está en automático. La propuesta de Minji trata en detalle asuntos internos y de bienestar social. ¿Vale la pena? Me preguntas a la persona menos indicada para eso. Es buena, como todos los personajes. Desde el punto de vista de mi hijo, un mundo justo para todos se consigue con rectitud. Canción de Shinny. La propuesta de Shinhead aborda bastantes temas de índole comercial y presenta muchas ideas perspicaces al respecto. Desde el punto de vista de Shinhead, la regulación y los beneficios son indispensables. El primero se me fue. Automático mientras lo estaba leyendo. Cantémonos. Ok, Dylan.
Finished, huh? What did you think?
Everyone took it very seriously.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written. Nobody wants to have any regrets.
¿Y qué piensas tú, Dylan?
That's for me to know and you to find out. We can talk more after the interviews. We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time. Start with Chenwei.
Yes, ma'am.
Ok.
Oh? So you two are the assessment officers, are you?
Se lo voy a poner de esta forma. Dígaselo a las personas que pasan el abismo con Amber. O a las personas que meten 200,000 con un crítico de ¿cómo se llama? De un ¿cómo se llama? De un tiro. O aquellos que hacen que el Baron Bonnie pegue 126,000 con cada explosión. O en las torres de batalla donde hay que proteger a los ¿cómo se llama? O en las torres de batalla en las que hay que proteger, que están también en el abismo, en los que hay que proteger los monolitos y el bicho y el Baron Bonnie atrae a todos los bichos matándolos fácilmente con una sola explosión. O ¿cómo se llama? La idea de poder darle a los bichos que se mueven un montón, como ¿cómo se llama? Como el lobo de piedra o la serpiente o cualquier otra criatura que se mueve. Aparte que el juego no es tan difícil. Si no puede pasarlo con Amber, supongo que el problema no es el personaje, el problema es cómo juegas. Tal vez. Porque el juego tampoco es tan complicado y difícil. Porque yo he visto muchas personas que pasan con Amber el abismo. Y con personajes de 4 estrellas normales.
I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I certainly hadn't imagined I'd be seeing two entirely unfamiliar faces.
Dile eso a la tier list. La tier list es algo que inventa la gente para sentir que tiene un poder o control sobre el meta. El meta es la forma más fácil de pasar el juego. Pero no significa que usted no pueda pasarlo con otros personajes. ¿Amigo mío? No significa que no sea fácil. No significa que ¿cómo se llama? Que el juego no... O sea, el tier list es una referencia. Con esto puede hacerlo más fácil. Con esto puede hacerlo más rápido. Con esto puede hacerlo más simple. Pero no es imposible con los otros personajes. Ni tampoco es que con los demás personajes no puede pasarlo. Yo nunca dije eso. Yo dije que todos los personajes eran útiles y que todos los personajes pueden pasar el abismo. Yo nunca dije que con otros no fuera más fácil. ¿Cierto o falso?
I trust you've read through my manifesto. I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp. It was written with an expert audience in mind, after all.
Mind your tone, mister.
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact.
Pero la tier de la wiki... Pregunta, la tier de la wiki está hecho por personas, ¿verdad? Como usted, como yo. Sus características y ¿cómo se llama? Sus características y estándares pueden ser distintos. Recuerde que... Se lo voy a poner de esta manera. Recuerde que en el abismo usted tiene 2 minutos para pasar cada sala. Eso significa que cualquier personaje que pase en menos de 2 minutos cada sala es bueno. ¿Qué significa eso? ¿Y sabe cuál es la cosa? Todos los personajes pueden hacer eso. Eso está basado en estándares y preferencias de las personas. Por ejemplo, se lo voy a poner de esta forma. Muy simple. Tiene 2 minutos para pasar la sala. Una persona que quiere hacer todo rápido, que tiene prisa por alguna razón, o quiere hacerlo todo rápido, va a ir por la tier list para ver qué personaje puede hacerlo más rápido o más fácil para no gastar mucho tiempo. Porque tiene otras cosas que hacer, quién sabe, tal vez. Yo no sé. Pero igualmente otra persona puede no tener el personaje, pero igualmente puede ver cómo se puede pasar con ese personaje en 2 minutos. Y lo hace, y ya. Gente ha pasado con Amber, con Bárbara, con los personajes iniciales, con Lisa, con Amber, con bastantes otros personajes, con Xinjiang, que supuestamente también es mala, supuestamente. Pero todos los personajes pasan en la misma en menos de 2 minutos, si están bien armados, obviamente. Segundo problema de la tier list. Todo el mundo se queja de que nunca tienen contenido en el juego. Porque pasan todo muy rápido. Pero quieren cada vez personajes más fuertes para pasar todo rápido y jugar menos tiempo. Entre más fuerte sea un personaje, juega menos tiempo usted. Pero la gente se queja de que no tiene endgame. Endgame entre comillas, aunque el endgame es el final de la historia porque este juego es pesado en historia. Es historia lo principal del juego. ¿Soy el único que piensa que Paimon es como la bebé de la prota? No, precisamente. No creo que seas el único, porque si una persona lo piensa, muchos lo piensan. Tus habilidades de comunicación son como las de preservadora de nubes.
Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus?
Sí.
Oh, yes, I remember now. You must be the traveler that people are constantly talking about.
Sí.
With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concepts I have put forward. Although I shouldn't get my hopes up.
Es algo arrogante, amigo.
Oh, is it my turn?
Sí.
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
I'm, Mingbo. I work in the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Ups. Uno es demasiado arrogante y el otro es demasiado tímido y flojo, un poco, en ese sentido. Flojo no en el sentido de vago o de vagancia, sino flojo en el sentido de que se siente que se podría quebrar con cualquier tipo de presión. Uno es demasiado arrogante, el otro es demasiado tímido, podría decirse. Llevan esperando su mero desde 6 meses. ¿Sí? 6 meses en los que ha habido un montón de contenido y cosas diferentes. Y eventos diferentes y muchas historias distintas y mucho contenido en el juego.
I've worked there for 9 years, 5 months, and 3 days. In that time, I've handled 2,347 cases. I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in 16 days. My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for auditing the accounts. To be more precise, there are 3 parts to the accounts, namely...
Is it just Paimon, or is he not very good at public speaking?
No es muy bueno, es muy tímido.
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and move on to some questions.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Después de una extensa ronda de preguntas, sí, pasa al siguiente.
hello. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous.
El primero le falta humildad. Al segundo le falta será más asertivo. Perfecto. Perfecto. Muy bien dicho, Ragnarok. Al primero le falta humildad. Es muy arrogante. Y al segundo le falta ser más asertivo. Es muy tímido. Sí. Perfecto.
What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away and I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability.
Este para mí es el que parece mejor hasta el momento. Sí, hasta lo pusieron en medio como siendo el mediador entre ambos. Entre los otros dos.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the ability to put your plan into action?
Directa al grano.
Very fair question. I completely understand where you're coming from. But I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with far more expertise than myself, and my manifesto is the conclusion of these efforts. Of course, two different problems can be interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach two very contradictory conclusions depending on which one you're focusing on.
Sí.
What I've tried to do is strike a balance. In other words, present an optimal solution to all the problems as a whole.
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution being the optimal one?
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues and the secretaries of the Yuehai Pavilion evaluate any proposals before implementation. Post-implementation, it would all come down to the results. If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results, I would take responsibility.
Nice answer. All right, next question.
Bien, bien. Llevan de marcha a las preguntas. Sí, las preguntas.
Guy. Everything he said was thoughtful and logical, and he was just a pleasure to listen to.
Sí, pero algo no está bien. No estoy tan impresionada.
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many excellent ideas in his manifesto which effectively target the big issues.
El primero tiene mucho conocimiento y sabe muchas cosas y sabe de lo que está hablando. Pero debido a eso ha desarrollado poca humildad y es algo arrogante. El segundo...
But he is very proud and incredibly stubborn. He doesn't care much about other people's feelings. Mingbuo's plan is more thorough and more measured. You can tell he's meticulous in his work, very detail-oriented.
Sí, pero es muy tímido. Pero es muy tímido.
But he and Qianwei are otherwise polar opposites. Mingbuo is not very articulate and comes across as very timid in conversation.
Sí.
Perfect summary. Paimon couldn't agree more. You're good at this, Yeon.
Sí, pero no podía ser más lamebotas, Paimon.
Last but not least, Jur-E. His manifesto is full of pertinent details, his methodology is sound, and his proposals cover a broad range of fields, which is quite a rare feat.
Sí, pero...
What he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. Plus, he is modest and good at dealing with people.
Por el momento parece, el tercero y último parece la opción correcta.
But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tien's. Having someone like Jur-E take the position would certainly put Uncle Tien's mind at rest.
Great.
Pero tener a alguien exactamente igual que el anterior tal vez no sea el cambio que Liyue necesita.
We'll see. Let's go back and report to Uncle
Okay.
Tien.
Un poco más difícil de determinar cuál de los tres. De esos que secuestran lolis. ¿Tienes algo que decir tú?
Do you need a hand with anything? Hoishin is taking some time off at the moment.
¿Qué?
I'm covering for her. Just let me know if you need anything.
No hay problema. Volvamos con el tío. Vamos a decirle que el tercer candidato parece el más adecuado. Sin embargo, tal vez no sea el cambio que Leeway necesita. Aunque ponerlo entre los otros, entre todos, parece la opción más adecuada. Si hay que elegir si hay que elegir, mejor elegirlo a él. Pero se podría pensar un poco más esta situación. Hola, tío Ten. Tío Tian, ¿estás bien? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Todo bien? ¿Pasándola excelente?
I see. Then it's more or less as I anticipated.
Alright, then let me ask this. The ideas in Jur-E's manifesto are very similar to your own. Is there any particular reason behind this?
Oh, I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates, for fear of affecting your judgment. But I can tell you now.
Okay.
Those 3 candidates have all studied under me in the past.
Ah, entiendo.
It's only natural that they share some similarities with me. But Xin Wei went on to focus on his business, and Ming Guo has always been occupied with his work at the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Of all of them, Juri was with me for the longest duration.
Entiendo.
Whoa! So how did you get to know them all, Uncle Tian?
Chen Wei was referred to me by an old friend. Ming Guo came to my attention in the course of my work.
Entiendo.
As for Juri, I was pure happenstance. We first met while fishing. Gradually, as we got to know each other, we started discussing all sorts of topics. Juri came from a poor family, and his parents died when he was very young. But he was a gifted student and a fast learner. He reminded me of a younger version of myself. So I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing and noticed how quickly he got on.
Parece que lo consideras un amigo. Parece como si fuera parte de tu familia.
Quite. And now, all of a sudden, he's grown into a mature young man. It's a joy to see, but it also gets one thinking. The young are growing up, and I am growing old. How time flies. No one can escape the cycle of life.
Yep.
I don't know, Uncle Tian. You still seem in pretty good shape to me. You might have another few years of work left in you, don't you think?
Oh, you. There's really no need to console me. Having less energy than I used to isn't such a bad thing. It just means I finally have a good reason to retire and spend my days doing what old men like me should be doing. Going fishing whenever I feel like it.
Sounds like you sure love fishing, Uncle Tian.
De hecho.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing to pass the time. Ooh, and freshly caught fish, they make the most beautiful fish soup with barely any preparation required.
Fresh fish soup. Sounds tasty.
Doesn't it? Also, some time ago, Juri purchased a very special recipe from an old fisherman. When we've been fishing recently, Juri always brings some extra ingredients he prepared in advance. The addition of these makes the soup taste even more wonderful. That flavor makes for a fond memory. But at my age, who knows how many more chances I have left to taste it again.
Yo creo que podrás tomarla muchas veces más.
Ooh, can Paimon come next time too? Paimon really wants to try it.
Let's get back to the matter at hand. Uncle Tian, we've reported back. Do you have a verdict?
Mm-hmm. I appointed you as the assessment
Lo sabía.
officer, and I trust your judgment.
Ujú.
Had you not asked me why Juri's ideas were so similar to mine,
Perfecto.
I was not going to mention my history with any of them.
Sí, fue la mejor forma ella fue la mejor opción para que funcionara como juzgado.
This decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Please disregard all other considerations and make your final decision
Sí.
only after a thorough review of each candidate's talents and capabilities. Remember, you must be thorough.
Understood. Come on, let's go talk somewhere else.
Ok, me parece bien.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tien. Look after yourself. So, it's gonna be Juri, right?
Eso depende del pescado, amigo mío. Eso depende del tipo de pescado. Hay muchos diferentes tipos de pescados. Y sobre la respuesta, Paimon, no es tan preciso. No es tan fácil.
His manifesto was written well, and he's the best speaker.
Easy. Let's not rush. There's no time limit for this assessment.
¿Sí?
Huh? So, are you gonna give them more tests or something?
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. But let me give you a word of advice. Things are not always as they appear.
¿Sí?
The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to only get information from the person of interest themselves. The truth is almost always hidden beneath many layers of deception. You have to get information through many different channels.
¿Sí?
For example, Wenyuan, Shanghua.
Yes?
¡Oh, por Dios! Es Ayato. De nuevo. Eso mismo con Ayato. Otra vez.
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Ugh! Who are they? Where did they come from?
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua.
Okay.
They work for me.
Bien.
As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. They also perform various assignments as required. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan relies on word of mouth. And there's also Upei, who's not here right now.
La razón por la que no pongo el bot ahorita es porque no quiero que el bot suene en medio de cuando los personajes están hablando. Cuando hay historia, cambiaré el tiempo, no pongo el bot.
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he alright? I seem to remember that he can't swim.
Nothing can take that guy down. Certainly not a little wind and waves.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan, go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and look through Mingbo's work files.
Yes, ma'am.
Felicidades. Felicidades, vestido Loli. Felicidades.
So what about Juri?
Juri, well, obviously as the most promising candidate, we will be investigating him ourselves. Let's go to the docks first. Lots of people passing through there. You can find out all kinds of things.
Ok,
If we're
perfecto.
looking for information, why don't we try talking to Bulai, the owner of Wanyu Boutique? He does business at the North Wharf. Maybe he has some news for us.
That's actually not a bad idea. Let's go and ask him.
Perfecto. Oh, no, tú no. Ok, vamos. Hola. ¿Es por acá? Qué raro estuvo eso. Dio como una vuelta aquí y otra vuelta allá y luego sigue directo por acá. Qué demencia. No sigamos. Espero que Sumero tenga una buena historia. Esto no da la talla. ¿Y a qué se refiere con mejor historia? O sea, Dice, espero que tenga mejor historia, pero ¿a qué se refiere? Porque, bueno, para mí la historia ha estado bien. Ha estado bien. Es buena, es entretenida. No me aburre. La pregunta es, cada vez que uno critica, tiene que dar
What's Bulai doing here today?
Cada vez que uno critica, tiene que dar ideas. ¿A qué se refiere con mejor historia? ¿Qué es lo que hizo mal la historia? También. ¿Qué es lo que hizo mal la historia? ¿Por qué no da la talla?
Look, your asking price for this batch is just too high. I can't buy in at this price.
Whoa.
How am I supposed to turn a profit?
Come on, hear me out. I'm telling you, this is the single best batch of Sunsettias ever. You won't find anyone who disputes that.
Huh.
I accidentally dropped one into a well, and even the water turned sweet.
Even so...
All right. I'll let you in on a little secret. The boss of Second Life also wants to buy from me, but I haven't responded yet. If you won't take him, I'll just have to partner with them instead, and neither of us wants that.
Okay, well, when you put it that way, I'll accept your asking price. I'll take all your stock. Don't sell a single one to Second Life.
Ok. El comerciante que negociaba con Bulai
what
se
are
ido.
you doing here?
Bulai, sí.
And to be clear, these Sunsettias are mine. I got to them first. Don't get any ideas.
No las queremos. Tengo de sobra en mi inventario.
Actually, we want to ask you about a guy called Juri. Have you heard of him before?
Juri? Yes, he's quite well known. I've heard a story about him. They say he was born into poverty. His parents died when he was young, and he was treated cruelly by the local community.
Ok, amigo mío. Pregunta. ¿Cómo encontramos a nuestro hermano? O sea, usted dice que tenga que ver con nuestro hermano en nuestros asuntos. Ok, perfecto. Nuestro hermano está perdido en un país del que no conocemos nada. En un mundo del que no conocemos nada. No es un país, es un mundo. ¿Cómo obtenemos información? Simplemente déjeme decirle. ¿Cómo tenemos información? Segundo. En lo que está nuestro hermano, sabemos que está con el abismo. Por las ¿cómo se llama? Por las historias que hemos tenido con él. Por las historias que hemos tenido con él, sabemos que está con el abismo. ¿Qué es lo que está haciendo el abismo? Interactuando y haciendo planes con los demás miembros, contra los demás miembros de cada nación. ¿Qué es lo que pasa? Que tenemos que meternos con las misiones que tenemos que meternos con los asuntos de las otras naciones para tener información y saber lo que está planeando el abismo. Por ende, saber lo que está planeando nuestro hermano. Los Fatuis intentan meterse con el abismo y con otras situaciones porque no están con el abismo. Lo que sucede es que hay 3 facciones: el abismo, los Fatuis y las líderes de cada nación de Teyvat, que están intentando hacer lo que quieren, más la derecha, más en Snezhnaya, que están intentando ¿cómo se llama? Obtener las Gnosis contra Celestia. Ok, todo eso tiene que ver con nuestro hermano. Amigo mío, para obtener información uno tiene que hacer favores a personas importantes. Más que todo cuando tiene que ver con problemas políticos tan grandes como el destino de una nación. Por ejemplo, esta misión. ¿Cómo se llama? El nuevo puesto que va a haber para la nueva persona que va a estar en el 7 estrellas. Desde el principio de la misión lo dijeron. Desde el principio de la misión lo dijeron. Nos valdría mucho la pena que estuviéramos de buena mano con la persona que va a estar a cargo de esto. Cada conexión que hacemos, cada persona con la que hemos hablado, cada persona con la que tenemos una conexión, es una fuente de la que podemos pedir favores y hacer lo que necesitamos. Por ejemplo, no hubiéramos podido entrar a la cima si no hubiéramos estado de recadero. No habríamos visto la primera estatua que está boca abajo si no hubiéramos sabido sobre las estatuas de los 7 y sobre cómo funcionan y haber hecho ¿cómo se llama? El favor al lobo de salvarlo en aquella ocasión. No hubiéramos podido entrar a la guarida Storm Terror si no hubiéramos liberado primero el problema y no hubiéramos descubierto el núcleo del reactor, de lo que estaba planeando el abismo. Si usted llega haciendo eso, nadie le va a hacer caso. No somos como Superman. ¿Sabe por qué? Porque Osiris, la esposa de Beishu, que llegó en el evento donde apareció Shenja, nos mandó a volar con solo un rayo. Y nos dejó muy heridos. En lo que tuvo que llegar y salvarnos Shenja. A propósito, al principio de la historia nos dijeron que nuestros poderes fueron sellados, amigo mío. ¿Recuerda? Teníamos tanto poder que podíamos pasar de un mundo a otro. Teníamos nuestras propias alas. Y todo. Cuando se nos puso la marca, nuestros poderes fueron sellados. ¿Lo recuerda? No somos Superman. No tenemos tanto poder, o sea, como en el pasado. Así que no puede. Si llega diciendo todo se va a ir a la chingada o el mundo se va a acabar, no va a funcionar, amigo mío. Nos van a echar de donde sea que estemos y nos ven como estúpidos. Como unos locos. Otra cosa. No podíamos hablar con la Shogun Raiden. Y saber todo lo que pasó en Canria hace 500 años si no hubiéramos resuelto todo el conflicto de la guerra civil que había ahí. Así que no, amigo mío, la historia no ha estado mal o no ha estado dando la talla. No, está bien, está decente. No es un... Todavía no he llegado a un límite de ser la explosión cinematográfica que todo el mundo espera, pero está bien.
One of his neighbors was terribly rude to him all the time, but Juri never retaliated. And when his neighbor went bankrupt, he even helped support the family.
Ah, interesante.
He returned cruelty with kindness, injustice with peace offerings. A gentleman of talent and character, and... how did I not notice him sooner? In fact, maybe I'm not too late. If I could hire him to be the brand ambassador for Wanyo Boutique...
Oops.
Oh, he sounds like a decent man. We can finally breathe a sigh of relief.
No.
Why are you asking about him anyway? You aren't looking for a brand ambassador too, are you?
De nada sirve tener todos los poderes si no son suficientemente fuertes. Podemos ser versátil. Somos un personaje sumamente versátil. Pero, ¿cómo se llama? Tenemos que recuperar nuestros poderes primero.
Well then, in that case, the higher bidder takes the... Ah, that's Jury right over there. Why don't we go and talk to him?
Where? Where?
It's him, all right. Looks like he's chatting with Linlong. Come on, let's follow them and listen in.
Okay.
Try not to let him see you. We want this information to be as truthful as possible.
¿De acuerdo?
I'll just go and fetch an employment contract. And hey, don't try and cut me out of this. Hey!
I understand. Let's walk and talk.
Okay.
So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
What are you waiting for? We won't hear anything at this rate.
Sí. Rayos, juego, no te pegues. ¡Juego! ¡No, no me hagas esto! Rayos. Ya le han cuestionado tus habilidades de rastreo. Rayos. Ok, vámonos. Un momento, ahorita.
We want this information.
Sí.
I understand. Let's walk and talk.
Ok. Y ahorita leo eso que pusiste, amigo mío. Ok.
So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
What are you waiting for? We won't hear anything at this rate.
Lo sé, intentó avanzar. Intentó avanzar, rayos. Espérese. Ok. Intentó avanzar, pero con eso no puedo. Espérese.
Try not to let him see.
Ok, vamos. Ahorita leo lo que pusiste.
I understand. Let's walk and talk. So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
Listo. Ya voy.
The truth is, an old friend of mine, who likes to have a drink now and then, he fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
How very thoughtful of you. Leave it to me then. Come and collect it at Shigu Antiques whenever is convenient.
¿De acuerdo?
Thank you very much, Miss Linlong.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Juri. These days, it's quite rare for someone of your standing to still keep up with their old friends. It's nice to see.
Sí.
I'll be sure to pick out a good set for you. You can count on me.
Listo, perfecto. No hay que tomar.
Juri seems to get along really well with everyone.
No hay que tomar las cinemáticas como algo canon. Recuerda lo que pasó con Child y le rompemos la madre. Aparte, las visiones son un hueco argumental que determina quién es más fuerte. ¡Nope! ¡Nope! Las cinemáticas sí tienen que tomarse en serio porque es la historia, amigo mío. Son canon. Las cinemáticas son canon porque es algo que pasa en la historia. Segundo, las visiones no son un hueco argumental. Debido a que son técnicamente lo que le da las habilidades a los personajes y no determina quién es más fuerte o quién es más débil, sino que determina ¿cómo se llama? Sino que determina qué tipo de ambición o poder tienen. ¿Quién o qué determina el poder? Entrenador, no sé lo que le pasó al padre de Diluc. Muestra eso. ¿Quién o qué determina el poder? Amigo mío, lo que le pasó al padre de Diluc es algo que le pudo haber pasado a cualquier personaje. Excepto que el padre de Diluc simplemente murió en batalla contra algo que era más fuerte que él. Eso es todo. Las cinemáticas sí tienen que tomarse como canon. ¿Por qué? Porque son la historia. Son parte de la historia. Si no, se lo voy a poner de esta forma. Si no tomamos lo que pasa en las cinemáticas como canon, todo lo que pasó al principio con los dos hermanos que se separaron, nunca pasó entonces. Y esa historia... O sea, ahorita no estamos... Esa historia no existe, el juego no existe entonces. Ay, o sea, chico... O sea... ¿Cómo va a decir algo así? No puedes decir algo así.
Are you satisfied now, Yelan? Seems like everyone thinks Juryi's a great guy.
We shouldn't jump to conclusions just yet. Let's go check out the wharf where he usually goes fishing.
Ok, vamos.
Do we have to? Wait, you're not just trying to dig up some dirt on
Ahora azótame, Yelan.
You want to be a Genshi yourself, are you?
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. But hey, if I do become Tianshu, I'll look out for you guys. You'll be able to try all the finest food for free. How does that sound?
We will? Well, come on! Off to the South Wharf we go!
Amigo mío, se lo pongo de esta forma. Los cómics son menos canon. O sea, son todavía canon, pero son menos canon que la historia de Genshin. El manga oficial sí puede ser canon, obviamente. Por supuesto que sí. Pero cuando usted necesita leer precisamente algo para entender las otras cosas, no es bueno. Se lo voy a poner de esta forma. Lo mató la visión artificial, lo dice el cómic. Que un personaje haya muerto de cierta forma no significa que esté muerto. Por ejemplo, señora murió. ¿Usted conoce los juegos gacha? Viajar en el tiempo, otras dimensiones. Hay muchas razones con las que un personaje puede no estar muerto. Así que no, eso tampoco significa nada, amigo mío. No. Amigo mío, te lo voy a poner de esta forma. Lo que hacen en combate sí se toma como canon. ¿Sabe por qué? ¿Sabes por qué, amigo mío? Me vas a decir, pero entonces si fuera así, el viajero podría utilizar dos elementos ahorita. No precisamente. Porque, ¿cómo se llama? Porque a la hora de crear el gameplay, no se considera mucho la historia. Se lo va a poner de esta forma. Se lo va a poner de esta forma. Canónicamente... ¿cómo se llama? Canónicamente... ¿cómo se llama? Klee puede destruir montañas. Cuando uno juega con ella, uno no puede destruir montañas. Pero eso es por motivos de gameplay. Más bien, el gameplay es lo que no es canon. Amigo mío. Estoy viendo el muro. Moverme, sí. El gameplay es lo que no es canon. Ha sacado unos... El gameplay es lo que no es canon, amigo mío.
The wharf is as busy as ever. I hear the anglers here sometimes sell their fish to the nearby fishmongers.
Sin embargo,
Let's see what Uncle Soon has to say.
el gameplay puede... sin embargo, el gameplay puede inspirar algo en el cinemático, o el cinemático puede inspirar algo en el canon. Algo en el cinemático. El gameplay puede inspirar algo en el cinemático, o el cinemático puede inspirar algo en el gameplay. Cualquiera de las dos formas funciona, pero el gameplay no es canon. Las historias son canon. Me encanta debatir contigo, colega. Sí. Qué bueno. Espero que nos sigamos llevando bien. Ok, aquí vamos.
Welcome.
Bien.
What would you like to buy today?
Queremos preguntar acerca de alguien. Venimos a comprar información.
Sorry to interrupt. We're actually members of the, Liyue Anglers Association, and we just wanted to ask a few questions about someone. We've heard about this young man called Zhi, who's supposed to be a fantastic fisherman. Just wondering if you happen to have heard of him?
Dije que ¿cómo se llama? Las historias pueden inspirar gameplay, pero no significa que el gameplay sea canon. Por ejemplo, Raiden puede partir montañas y es canon porque las islas están partidas de esa manera. Y los huesos de la serpiente están ahí. Puede partir islas y montañas con su espada. Pero debido al gameplay, durante el juego, no podemos cortar los escudos de un Hilitroll de madera o roca con Raiden. ¿Por qué? Porque eso quiebra el desafío del juego. Pero la historia es canon porque es lo que mueve la historia del juego y la aventura y la historia de lo que está sucediendo. Pero el gameplay no es canon porque el gameplay solo es para que el jugador haga algo durante la historia.
Whoa! Yeon made up a whole fake identity without batting an eyelid.
Ah, yes, Zhi. He's been making quite a name for himself recently. I've got some friends who travel all over the place, and they tell me everywhere they go they meet someone who's heard of him. Apparently, he had a rather tough time growing up. Had to work several jobs alongside his studies to make ends meet. How does that saying go? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, if there's anything to that logic, he's sure to be phenomenally successful one day.
Yeah, we think so too.
But I'm afraid your Anglers Association might be in for a disappointment.
Oh? Why is that?
He's good at a lot of things, but fishing isn't one of them. He fishes at the wharf and sells what he catches to me on occasion. His catches are always mediocre. Not terrible, but equally nothing to write home about. If you're looking to recruit some new members, though, I do know a few top anglers I could put you in touch with.
Okay.
That sounds fantastic. I've got a couple of other things to attend to right now, though, so why don't I come back some other time and we can chat over a drink?
Perfecto.
Sure thing. See you.
Everywhere they go, they meet someone who's heard of him. Come on, let's keep asking around.
Interesante. ¿Por qué tanta gente lo conoce?
Here to buy some fish? It's 300 for one or 3 for 1,000. You better hurry. When they're gone, they're gone.
Hello, we're from the Society for Fish Price Research. We'd just like to ask a few questions.
Wow, she switched identity again.
Society for fish price research? I haven't done anything illegal. Stay out of my business.
Please, don't worry. We're just here to conduct a simple survey.
No estoy haciendo nada ilegal. No vean las plantas atrás.
Fresh fish at low prices in this area recently. Do you know anything about this?
So this isn't about me. You should have said something, you know. I know the guy. I can tell you what I know. I haven't heard anything about him selling fresh fish at low prices, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was him.
Huh.
Oh? Why is that?
Because he's so poor. His parents died when he was very young, and his alcoholic father still owed a huge amount of debt. No one wanted anything to do with him. He was still a kid when he first came to the wharf. His clothes were ragged, and he had a bandage wrapped around his head. And he managed to survive, thanks to Uncle Tien, who gave him some food. But still to this day, he doesn't have a lot of mora to his name. I mean, he can afford to eat and everything, but you'll often see him haggling with others over just a few mora. So, I wouldn't be surprised to find out he's been selling a few fish. It's not like he catches much anyway, so it's not going to affect my business. Don't tell him I said that.
He didn't know?
Well, I spoke to him once, briefly, and I just had a feeling that he really cares what other people think of him. I think he has pretty low self-esteem, but hey, it's hardly my place to say anything. What he's achieved already puts most people to shame.
Es cierto, tienes razón, ese pescado debería estar congelado o mínimo en una hielera con hielo cuando lo está mostrando. Aunque hay algunas tiendas que venden el pescado apenas fresco. O sea, me refiero a los tiempos de antes, cuando no había hieleras y cosas así por el estilo. Simplemente lo ponían, lo mostraban, y si no lo vendían se lo comían ellos mismos. Pero lo ponían, lo mostraban y lo intentaban vender lo más rápido posible, porque si se ponía malo. Y con esta misma ¿cómo se llama? Esta misma cosa en una mesa, cosas así por el estilo, rápido. Los pescaban ahí mismo, los mostraban ahí mismo. ¡Puf! Pescado fresco. ¿Cómo se llama? No sé si lo has visto, que en algunos lugares o algunos mercados los venden fuera de los congeladores. Así puestos, pum, lléveselo. Los gente tiene poderes de hielo, no hay excusa. No digo que no tengan excusa. Lo que digo es que algunas personas los venden de así. Lléveselo, rápido, boom.
Nobody's perfect. I just wouldn't want to upset him. That's all.
I see. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Not a problem. And just for the record, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the price of my fish.
The more times you say it, the less convincing it becomes.
Es cierto. Ay, a Lumi. Qué linda ella.
Doesn't have a lot of mora to his name. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay. Algo pobretón. Vamos andando por todo el mercado. Aquí está.
Hey, it's you guys. Wait, what's the phrase? Oh yeah, honored to meet you. What brings you to me?
The truth is, we are but newcomers to this territory. We heard tell of a great martial artist, Master Dugu, who knows everything there is to know. Hence, we sought you out to ask for your guidance.
Really? People said I know everything there is to know?
But of course. We also heard that Master Dugu is a kind and virtuous swordsman who never turns away anyone who comes with questions.
Se lo voy a poner así. Allá en Japón hay lugares donde usted simplemente mete el dinero en los santuarios y nadie lo está cuidando, simplemente está ahí adentro. Como usted le dije, si aquí en Latinoamérica lo hacen, se lo roban eso rápidamente. Si aquí en Latinoamérica hicieran eso, se lo roban. Entonces es una cajita de ofrendas donde usted mete monedas que usted quiera. Si usted lo hace, se lo roban.
Great! So what do you wish to know? Nothing happens on this street that I don't know about.
Para mí, Lumina es sumamente linda y bonita.
Now she's lying to a kid.
Pero se le ve muy contento.
So, Master Dugu, have you heard of one by the name of Jur-E?
Sure have. You mean that guy that all the grown-ups are talking about these days? I've heard many tales of Juri. For example, I can't remember. Probably because it's nothing that important. I prefer stories about sword-fighting heroes.
Whoa.
Oh, I can completely understand that. Then let me ask you this. Do you remember roughly when the grown-ups started talking about Jur-E?
Oh yeah, I know that. It was about 2 or 3 months ago. Before that, people always used to talk about Juri in a kind of nasty tone of voice. But 2 or 3 months ago, suddenly everyone started to like him.
Huh.
Sometimes he gives me candies, so I'm glad that people are starting to like him now.
Just as I thought.
Huh?
Eso no es normal.
I mean, just as I thought, Master Dugu is indeed as kind and virtuous as the legends claim.
I'm not that great. Oh yeah, one other thing. These days, there's a lot of people I've never seen before talking about Juri stories in the street.
Huh.
They seem like nice people.
Oh, definitely.
Great! So next time I see them, I'll say hi. And I guess I can share some of my candies with them too.
He visto el
You
olímetro.
can also tell my friend in Yenshang Tea House about what they're up to. I'm sure my friend would also like to say hi to them.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Well then, fare thee well, Master Dugu.
Until we meet again.
Any of that sounds strange to you?
Sí. Sí. Sí.
Strange? What was strange about it?
No.
Juri seems to have a great reputation. Uncle Soon and Uncle Gas spoke highly of him, and Dugu Shuo seems to like him too.
No es precisamente que les agrade, es hace cuánto empezó a pasar y de repente, y antes tenía mala reputación.
True. But the issue is, where did his sudden celebrity come from?
¿Sí?
It almost seems too good to be true.
Repentino.
Sudden? Too good to be true? What do you mean?
So he returns cruelty with kindness, and had to work to support his studies. These are the kinds of things that make someone well known in their hometown. But Uncle Soon said even his friends who travel far and wide hear about him wherever they go. That's a little over the top, if you ask me.
Sí.
Do you remember what Dugu Shuo said about Jur-E's stories? Clearly they left him with a good impression of the guy. But beyond that, he wasn't interested in the details. That's the reaction I would expect from any normal person. Plus, there's the fact that all this praise of Jur-E has only been happening within the last 2 or 3 months.
Es como si todos se hubieran puesto de acuerdo en hacerlo de repente. Y es como si estuvieran como... Claro, él es muy bueno, yo he escuchado que él es muy bueno. Es como si algo los estuviera diciendo que digan eso.
His childhood, his studies, the thing with his neighbor. None of these are recent events. So why are these stories only going around now?
Algo cambió. Algo hizo que las personas cambiaran su perspectiva sobre él. Y no fueron sus buenos actos. Algo más.
When you put it like that, it is kinda strange.
Of course, if that's all there was to it, I wouldn't look into it any further. Jur-E was born into a poor family. Paying people to get his stories out there is within the rules of the game as far as I'm concerned.
Entonces, ¿usted sabía que regalar comida y ¿cómo se llama? Regalar comida y juguetes por votos, sí, suena súper aprovechado y todo, pero tampoco lo veo tan malo. Alguna gente está recibiendo cosas.
The problem is, do you remember what Uncle Gao said about him? He's stayed poor his whole life. Everything he's earned he's either spent on studying, traveling, or paying off debts. I don't think he has the moral to pay for a publicity campaign.
Sí, de hecho, ¿cómo consiguió el dinero? Alguien lo está ayudando.
Right, and that changes everything. It could mean a powerful faction is trying to gain influence over the Liu at Xixing.
Sí, no sabemos quién lo está ayudando. Podría ser alguien nefasto. ¿Entiende? Se lo voy a poner de esta forma. Hay dos posibilidades. Él está haciendo algo malo y se lo está ocultando a todo el mundo. O alguien malo lo está ayudando. Y él sabe que alguien malo lo está ayudando y no le importa. Y tercera posibilidad. Alguien malo lo está ayudando y él no tiene idea de que esa persona está tramando algo malvado.
That's the worst case scenario. But all too often, the most pessimistic speculation turns out to be closest to the truth.
Someone's trying to gain influence over the Qixing?
Sí.
That sounds serious. What should we do?
Usándolo a él como peón o él está de acuerdo con el plan. Una de dos.
Even if we asked Jiri about it, surely there's no way he'd admit it.
First, we need to find out who's supporting him. Don't worry, I've got a plan.
Confío en ti, Yelan.
Remember the current affairs and planning stage of the assessment? Since the successful candidate is duty-bound to implement their plan after taking office, their manifesto tells us their stance on key issues.
Sí.
Whoever is secretly helping Jir-E must be seeking to benefit from his actions after his appointment. So, we should be able to find some hints in Jir-E's manifesto on who we're dealing with.
Sí. De hecho, es la forma más importante. Sepa lo que el manifiesto quiere. Podría darnos una idea de qué es lo que quiere la persona que lo esté ayudando. Y depende de qué es lo que quiere, podemos saber quién es. Ah, otra cosa. Todo esto puede tener repercusiones en el futuro. Porque si Li Wei luego no está de nuestro lado, tal vez una batalla futura sea un problema para nosotros. Así que tenemos que resolver este problema ya.
Come on, let's get back to Yenshang Tea House.
Sí, también puede estar en negocios turbios. Hay muchas posibilidades. Hasta que sepamos quién es y qué es lo que quiere exactamente, podemos determinar qué es lo que pasa en verdad. Por lo menos por el momento sabemos que alguien lo está ayudando a obtener buena reputación alrededor de aquí. ¿Cómo obtiene esa reputación? Por el momento no lo sabemos, pero sabemos que alguien lo está ayudando. No solo con reputación, sino que también financieramente. Ah, y de la forma en que estoy analizando todo es aparte de cómo disfruto porque disfruto las historias. Vuelve al salón Genshin para revisar la propuesta. Ups. ¡Ah! ¡Lumin! Ah, voy a subir. Listo.
Jir-E's manifesto covers a huge range of topics.
Sí.
Looking for details that don't add up will be like trying to find a needle in a haystack. I'll divide the reports into 2 piles. You take one, I'll take the other. When we're finished, we'll put our heads together.
Ok, perfecto, me parece bien.
Officially, the assessment is already over, and I'll be expected to announce the results before long.
Eso es muy interesante.
So we have to get to the bottom of this as quickly as we can.
Por supuesto, esto es muy interesante. Sí, no tenemos mucho tiempo.
Uncle Tian might think of Jir-E, the fact remains that he's one of his favorite students. Any evidence he's left is not going to be immediately obvious. We'll have to look carefully and think critically.
Perfecto, no hay problema. Aquí vamos. Sentarse. Plan de Shinji. Ok, aquí vamos.
Even though Yelan took half, this is still a lot to get through.
Con abdominales. Era un Genshin muy turbio. Tipo Monster Hunter. Pero con calidad XD. La Loli más rara que he visto. Pero es un tuxtico, ya le digo. Tengo que buscarlo. Porque es un tipo de criatura o monstruo, pero ya le digo qué es. Okay. Aunque ya así.
Well, we gotta start somewhere.
Leer asuntos marítimos. Debido a diversos factores, las tormentas se han intensificado en estos últimos años. Sugiero implementar patrullas especiales para combatir a los monstruos marinos. La flota debe integrarse de la siguiente manera. Una descripción breve y concisa de todos los asuntos relacionados con la defensa marítima. Leer asuntos mineros. Leer asuntos mineros. Eso no es nada embarazada. Hay muchas leyendas populares que cuentan que Rex Lapis dejó una gran riqueza en las montañas de Liyue. Sin embargo, debido a varios obstáculos en la cima, muchos proyectos han sido suspendidos. Los trabajadores de la Forja Peñasco Oscuro han estado ociosos cerca de la Casa Dorada mucho tiempo. Deben ser los primeros en ser movilizados en caso de que haya nuevos proyectos. Peñasco Oscuro. Una descripción breve y concisa sobre minería, construcción de túneles, exploración y exploraciones de ruinas. Lo de poner cierto grupo de exploración marítimo suena como, o sea, que la persona que está ayudándolo podría elegir a quienes poner como ayuda marítima y que estén vigilando las costas. Pero los de la asociación oscura también se escuchan sospechosos porque que les sirva a ellos podrían ser los primeros en entrar a la cima a excavar las minas y cosas así. Les serviría tener una ventaja. Leer asuntos vitales. El terreno escabroso alrededor del bosque de piedra Hongun y la cima Shingyu suponen rutas comerciales débiles. Los picos escarpados de las montañas están conectados por puentes de cuerda. Es peligroso caminar por ellos y definitivamente no son ideales para el transporte de bienes. Lo sé, he estado ahí. Estas áreas son ricas de hierbas medicinales y depósitos minerales. Construyendo una red de caminos alrededor de las montañas sería enormemente beneficioso. Lo digo, con eso estoy de acuerdo. Usted ha estado en esas montañas del bosque de piedra. Escalar esas varas que son altísimas y se ve la neblina y todo eso. Construir caminos alrededor de esas montañas sería genial. Gracias por el follow, amigo mío. Rex Lapis era millonario, amigo mío, porque él construyó el Mora hasta que dejó de ser deidad. Ya no tenía el poder. La gnosis, mejor dicho, la perdió. Y sobre Venti siempre ha sido un ebrio, así que eso no cambió. Una descripción breve y concisa sobre construcción de caminos y puentes. Dejar de leer.
Oh, this reading is giving Paimon a headache. Let's take a break.
Looks like I'm the first one back, as usual.
Oh, hey! It's one of Yeon's little helpers, Shanghua! If you're back, that means you finished investigating Tianwei, right?
Yep.
You betcha. I visited all the commerce guilds and gathered a wealth of information. Every time they asked me to leave, but I always had another trick up my sleeve.
Don't drag this out. Just tell us your findings.
Yes, Lady Yelan. To summarize my findings, most people who've had interactions with Tianwei will start out complaining about how proud and arrogant he is, but then go on to give a generally positive appraisal of him. The young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild said that Tianwei appears arrogant, but he's very scrupulous in the way he works.
Okay.
Once he signs a contract with somebody, he treats them fairly regardless of their background.
Eso es bueno.
Who'd have thought?
Is it possible that his reputation is fake? Is there any way you can check the accounts of the businesses under his name?
In theory, that should be very difficult. But here's the thing. I asked around and found out that almost all of Tianwei's accounts are open to the public. Where he buys from and sells to should be confidential business information, but he doesn't seem interested in protecting it at all. Tianwei often sees business opportunities that others don't, but once he's made enough mora off of it, it's like he gets sick of it and releases all of his trade secrets.
Ah, interesante. Un comerciante que no oculta dónde vende ni compra. Ah, el tipo arrogante tiene integridad, a pesar de ser arrogante. Eso es importante. Y como siempre, podemos ver, no, eso es algo bueno. ¿Cómo se llama? Eso es algo bueno a la hora de escribir personajes que sean tridimensionales, que no solo sean de una faceta. Por ejemplo, Shinwei, el primer tipo que llegó, que veíamos que le faltaba humildad y que era algo arrogante, tiene buenos valores como persona también. Respeta los contratos con las personas que hace, no importa si la persona es pobre o muy adinerada, ni importa su educación ni nada, los trata justamente a como dice el contrato, y tiene integridad a la hora de ¿cómo se llama? De los negocios. Tal vez sea arrogante y algo pusilánime a la hora de interactuar socialmente con personas, pero es alguien con el que usted puede confiar a la hora de hacer negocios, y es alguien que es justo con las personas y tiene grandes valores en los comercios. Su reputación no es comprada. La reputación de esta persona no es comprada. Porque todo el mundo se estaba quejando de que el mae es arrogante. Pero todo el mundo decía también que él es una muy buena persona de negocios y alguien con bastante tacto para el comercio. No te va a engañar, no te va a tratar mal en lo que respecta a lo que compras o vendes. Muy interesante, muy interesante.
It's like he wants people to know that they still can't beat him, even if he shares all of his secrets. The fact that someone like that can still make mora is pretty infuriating when you think about it.
¡Wow! Qué interesante, porque él dice, vea, yo vendo y compro aquí. De todas formas nadie va a poder superarme, así que hagan lo que quieran. Sepan todo lo que vendo y compro.
What a strange guy. It's like he's not doing business to make mora, but instead...
Para ganar reputación sobre sus logros.
To validate his theories. No wonder his manifesto contains so many insights. It's all the result of his first-hand experimentation.
Yep. Para dar valoración de que, miren, lo que yo digo y hago es lo correcto. Observen, yo tengo la razón. Es por eso que publica todo lo que él hace. Ah, el otro tipo, el 3. Ah, sí, sí. Que compra reputación, sí. El tercer tipo sí compra reputación.
I'm back. Huh? How come you're here?
Why do you think? Obviously, because I possess superior skills and am always one step ahead of the competition. Well, when you're the competition, at least.
You... Whatever. I'm not getting into an argument with you. If I hadn't had something else to take care of on the way, I would have been back long before you. Lady Yelan, I have finished investigating Mingbois.
Well, we're all ears.
The Ministry of Civil Affairs says that Mingbois struggles to get his words out when he gets nervous, especially when he's chatting with strangers. But after a few days of getting to know him, you can pretty much have a normal conversation with him. On the whole, the feedback from the Ministry of Civil Affairs was very positive. He always considers the things that everyone else overlooks.
Muy bien, muy bien. El chico tímido le cuesta hablar con personas nuevas. Y es un poco tímido con personas nuevas. Pero al transcurso de que los va conociendo y les agarra confianza, habla bien con ellos. Tal vez no muy bueno para una entrevista por primera vez y tal vez no muy bueno a la hora de conocer a personas por primera vez y hacer negocios con personas por primera vez. Pero a largo plazo se ve que ambas cosas pueden funcionar muy bien.
In your opinion, was the Ministry of Civil Affairs appraisal of Mingbois at all exaggerated?
I don't believe so. Mingbois is someone who has slowly but surely earned the reputation he has today.
Perfecto.
According to Miss Yu, the ministry often gets Mingbois to take a final look at projects before they're implemented. People feel much more confident in something if it has his stamp of approval. Oh, and also, there was once someone in the ministry who was lying and cheating to try to advance their career. Mingbois gave them the scolding of a lifetime. Apparently, he can be terrifying when he loses his temper. I haven't seen it for myself, though.
Esos dos se pelean por ser el favorito de Yelan. No me sorprende que sean su crush.
Whoa, that's hard to imagine.
No, bueno, sí, pero no.
Before, things are not always as they appear.
Ah, so that's what you meant by that. I'm starting to get it now.
Thank you both. You're free to go now.
Perfecto.
So, have you finished reading the manifesto?
Yep.
We still have a bit left.
Terminas de leer el plan junto a Yelan.
I can't see any immediate problems looking at the individual entries.
Pero
The only one that strikes me as a little unusual is the Chengshu Pool redevelopment plan.
sí. ¿Qué es eso?
Chengshu Pool has always been home to many secrets. Plus, Ajdaha once wrought havoc there, so there are even more secrets buried deep underground. At some point, a rumor began to go around that there is great treasure buried beneath Chengshu Pool.
Sí.
A long time ago, with the approval of the Qixing, a mining team conducted an exploratory excavation there.
So, did they find any treasure?
None. The ruin was completely impenetrable. The only way they could have gotten through the solid rock would have been by blowing it open with a special kind of explosive.
Entiendo.
The technology wasn't mature enough at that time, so the excavation project was shut down and the treasure became a mere legend. Zhi-Yi's manifesto focuses on solving problems, and this treasure hunt seems extremely risky. It seems out of step with the rest of his plans. Still, this one fact alone doesn't tell us much. Everyone wants to get their hands on this treasure. The treasure hoarders, the Fatui, even local Liyue factions. Did you find anything?
Excavation? Project? Treasure? Did we read anything similar in
Lo de las
our
minas.
manifesto?
Las forjas de Peñasco Oscuro, Paimon. Por Dios santísima.
Juri said the Blackcliff Forge workers should get right of first refusal if any suitable projects come up.
Sí, y querían que el proyecto de la cima se abriera rápidamente para poder hacer sus excavaciones más rápido y llegar primero a conseguir los minerales o piedras preciosas o tesoros que hay ahí. Ellos quieren conseguir el tesoro más rápidamente.
Did he now? Well, that makes everything much clearer. So Jur-E wants the Blackcliff Forge to excavate the treasure of Qingshu Pool.
¿Sí?
Does that mean the Blackcliff Forge is Juri's secret supporter?
No precisamente, pero es realmente factible. Es una opción muy alta.
No, not likely. I've looked into the Blackcliff Forge before. They aren't involved with any powerful factions at present. They do possess some specialized explosives.
Sí.
But it would seem more trouble than it's worth to put so many resources into a risky project like this.
Tal vez no precisamente la Forja Oscura, pero alguien que quiere que la Forja Oscura haga eso.
Still, since the clues are pointing toward the Blackcliff Forge, we should see where they lead.
Vamos allá.
We'll find something new.
¡Bum! Calacalabum.
Shenwei and Mingbo both turned out to be completely different than what we thought. What about Juri? Is there another side to him too?
Todas las personas tienen otro lado, Paimon. Tú, yo, la abuelita que te hace galletas, todos. Dos lolis. Para mí es mejor dos lolis. Obviamente, la madre con la loli es una opción muy tentadora, pero me gustan más dos lolis. Llamen aquí y dejémonos de mamadas. ¡No, mae! La idea es evitar que eso pase, no hacerlo ahorita, o sea. Oh, por Dios, empezó la lluvia. Lluvia, mis poderes de viento se mezclan con el agua. ¡Sí! ¡Pum! Bueno, de por sí la aventurera se cura ella misma, así que da lo mismo.
This is the Blackcliff Forge. Let's look around for clues.
Ok. Veamos qué pasa. Ok. Oh. Registro de obra. Hoy tampoco sucedió nada. Día de pago. Vinieron 3 nuevos reclutas. No esperaba que alguien viniera. Vinieron 3 nuevos reclutas. No esperaba que alguien viniera hasta aquí. En tiempos como este. Uno de los nuevos es muy hábil. Fue ascendido al líder del grupo. Hoy tampoco sucedió nada.
What's this? A diary?
From the back, it looks like a ledger, but it seems they also use it as a site log. We don't know who wrote it, but it's interesting, don't you think? These newcomers, who could have sent them?
You think they're suspicious?
No digo que no tenga sus beneficios, amigo mío. Lo único que digo es que me gustan más los lolis.
Yes. Look, it says right there, one of them's already been promoted to team leader. At this rate, by the time the Qingshu Pool redevelopment plan is ready to roll, they'll be the technical backbone of the team. That'll give them the chance to take a lot of liberties. They can copy any secret texts or steal any treasure they find underground. Imagine if we didn't suspect anything. By the time Jur-E recommends the Blackcliff Forge for the excavation project, at most we would maybe do a fresh background check on the place. No red flags if all they did was change some key staff. And even if we decided to vet the staff individually, They'd have had more than enough time by then to come up with fake identities. That's the advantage of planning this far in advance. It was a clever move.
When you put it like that, it all makes sense. If we hadn't found this out, someone else would have stolen the treasure.
Sí.
So, who's really behind all this?
That's a question for the newcomers. But let's start with that worker over there for now.
Okay. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Excuse us. We want to ask you about the newcomers.
You want them to teach you or something? I gotta say, these newcomers are in tip-top shape. Fast learners, too. They're picking up all the skills unbelievably fast. My only complaint is that they're always going out drinking at night. But they never let us join them. I guess they just need some time to adjust. I'm sure we'll get to know each other over time.
Están buscando algo, no se van a tomar en las noches, están buscando el tesoro en las noches.
They go out drinking. This area isn't exactly renowned for the nightlife. I'm guessing it's a long trip to the nearest tavern.
You got that right. They tell me they go all the way back to Liyue Harbor to drink at Wanmin Restaurant. It rained after work today, so they actually stuck around at the site for a while. But as soon as the rain stopped, they went out drinking again right away.
Amigo mío, gracias por recomendármela, pero llegas tarde. Ya he buscado mucho sobre ella. Por supuesto que la conozco. Cagliostro. Por supuesto que conozco a Cagliostro.
Hey, you're only young once, right? I say, if they can hack it, let them at it.
Interesting. Let's go talk somewhere else.
De acuerdo.
Looks like our hunch was on the Mora. These newcomers are very suspicious. Drinking in Liyue Harbor, huh? Some cover story. I'll wager they've been going to intelligence updates. Good thing it rained today. It means they'll leave footprints. I doubt they'd give themselves away that easily, but let's follow them and try our luck.
De acuerdo. Me parece bien. Sigamos las huellas, sigamos las huellas. Para allá, ok. Sigamos las huellas, sigamos las huellas.
They went that way. Hurry, we gotta catch up.
Sí. Sigamos las huellas, sigamos las huellas. Hacia además. Sigamos las huellas, sigamos las huellas.
These footprints are heading towards Liyue Harbor. Maybe we were wrong about them.
No. No. No estamos equivocados con ellos.
Just as I thought. They didn't go to Liyue Harbor. They went that way.
Por aquí. So yeah.
The footprints stop here. But, judging from the direction, I'm guessing their destination was that abandoned house.
Sí. Solo acepto su mano como señal de respeto si se lavó primero las manos. Aquí hay rastros de una pelea. Parece ser obra de un profesional. ¿Pero de quién? Dice, estas marcas en el barro seguramente son de una estera de bambú. Es como si alguien hubiera dormido aquí. Sin embargo, no se ve una estera por ningún lado. La única razón por la que no he jugado Gran Blue Fantasy, el gacha, el juego de pelea sí lo he jugado, por supuesto, pero el gacha es porque no me gustan mucho que los personajes sean chivis, porque me gusta verlas en toda su gloria, las lolis, ¿entiende? Y a veces uno elige los personajes por diseño, pero los juegos lo ponen chivis a los personajes y pierden un poco de la, ¿cómo se llama? De lo sexy. Excusas de una fogata. Quemaron algo aquí hace poco. Creo que me lavo las manos. Ah, bueno. Desde 4. ¿Más por algún lado? Ah, tal vez en la parte de arriba de la casa. Igual, ¿dónde está la otra pista? Investiga cosas abandonadas. Pues alrededor por aquí, no precisamente en la casa, pero aquí a los alrededores. Ah, esto, perfecto. Dice, un hueso de fruta. Alguien estuvo aquí hace poco. Tal parece que no hay más pistas. Ok.
Looks like we were too late.
Baserga, ya. En lo personal me gusta más Charlotte o la chica de pele azul. O la chica morena mitad dragón. Ah, ya veo. No, me gusta, a mí me encanta Calixto, su personalidad, su forma de ser, todo.
This has gotta be where the newcomers rendezvous with whoever they're
Cagliostro,
looking for.
me encanta un montón.
But all the evidence has been destroyed. Look at these ashes. Someone was burning documents not long before we arrived.
Could there be anything left? Maybe the wind could have blown the fire out before everything was finished burning.
The odds of that are very slim. It's practically impossible. I've checked. All the paper's been burned. There's only ash left now.
Why don't we wait for them back at the Black Cliff Forge? They've gotta go back there sooner or later.
We can't count on that. Clearly they were based here at one point, but it's mysteriously abandoned now. To me, that says that whoever's behind this has moved them somewhere else, to throw our investigation off course.
Darn! Guess this is where our trail runs cold.
No.
Make no mistake, the purpose of our trip wasn't to find any solid evidence. We just need to figure out who's behind Jur-E. I smelled something peculiar the moment I came in. Those newcomers probably thought they'd be safe as long as they burned the letters. But what they failed to consider is that paper and ink from different regions produce different odors when they're burned.
Really? Paimon can't smell anything. Do you smell anything?
Hueso de frutas a veces, al que le decimos aquí corazón de fruta, que a veces queda cuando comemos una manzana o alguna de esas frutas. Como el centro de la fruta, la semilla y esas cosas. Noté un aroma muy tenue.
There is a certain place with a freezing cold climate, where there's nothing but ice as far as the eye can see.
Ah, por Dios. Snezhnaya, son fatuis.
Some wealthy people there put floral fragrance in their ink as a way of injecting a little romance into their writing. When that fragrant ink is burned, this is the exact odor that it leaves behind.
Los fatui.
Exactly. The evidence will soon be blown away by the wind, so it's nothing we can arrest anyone with. But it's all I need. Now I know who we're dealing with. I can plan our next move.
Perfecto.
Lady Yelan! Oh, thank goodness I finally found you. I thought I'd never see you again.
Who are you?
El
Don't be
tercero.
alarmed. This is Upei. He's Wenyuan and Shanghua's colleague. I sent him to look into Jur-E's regular contacts. Since Jur-E likes fishing, Upei thought he might know some of the fishermen and sailors, so he took a boat out to sea to ask around. I left him a note at Yenshang Tea House telling him to look for me at Blackcliff Forge when he got back. If there'd been an ambush waiting for us there, it means we'd have had some backup.
Ah. Para no estar tan desprevenidos en la emboscada.
So, what did you find out at sea?
Y Z sí sería muy bonita como Loli, pero Z siempre ha sido bonita igualmente.
Forgive my incompetence. I'm afraid I've come up empty-handed. I asked all the fishermen multiple times, but none of them had any interactions with Jur-E before. Then the waves got so choppy I ended up falling overboard. Fortunately, someone managed to drag me out. When I got back, I heard that you'd gone to Blackcliff Forge and might need backup, so I went straight there as fast as I could. Didn't even stop to change my clothes.
Well, Uncle Tien said that Jur-E once bought a recipe from one of the fishermen. Did you hear anything about that at all?
What? That's news to me. No, that's not possible. It's absolutely not possible. Lady Yelan, I'm telling you, I spoke to every single fisherman out there, and none of them mentioned anything about a recipe.
Ah, y nadie conoce a Gigi. Ah.
Interesting. Then I wonder how that even more wonderful fish soup came about.
Ya sé lo que pasó, ya sé lo que está pasando. Los colaboradores, que sabemos que son los Fatuis ahora, le dieron todos los recursos y ayuda a Jinjin para que pudiera participar como próximo miembro de las 7 estrellas, al mismo tiempo que le dijeron y le hicieron todo lo posible para que tuviera más cosas en común con el anciano, con Tío Tian, para poder ganar su confianza. Le dieron una receta de pesca, le dijeron que al Tío Tian le encanta la pesca, así que también que sea pescador. Él alineara todos sus gustos y hobbies junto con el anciano, que alineara todos los gustos y hobbies que tenía para que tuviera algo en común con el anciano para ganar su confianza. Ya que ningún pescador ha tenido interacciones con él, es imposible que le diga que le gusta pescar. Y ya que no tiene la receta tampoco, es imposible que alguno de los pescadores le diera la receta.
Fish soup? What fish soup?
Nothing. Our priority right now is to find a way to get our hands on some solid evidence. Well, any suggestions?
¿Y si enviamos a alguien a seguirlos? Esperamos a que se reúna y atrapamos con las manos en la masa.
Not a bad idea. Upei, what do you think?
Honestly, I've already tried following Jur-E, but the guy's too cautious. Never meets with anyone suspicious.
Okay, so tailing's out.
No, we'll still need to tail him. But first, we need to do some groundwork.
Perfecto.
Groundwork?
When you've worked in intelligence for a long time, you'll understand that no one can stay on high alert forever. especially when he thinks he's about to win. Tomorrow morning I'll announce his victory at your high pavilion. Take a guess what you think he'll do next.
Ir a reunirse con sus colaboradores, obviamente.
Be sure to arrive on time. You won't want to miss the show.
Perfecto. Okay. Resultado inesperado. Entre 9 y 11 horas. Okay. Voilà. Todo esto no está fuera de lugar en Latam. Dirígete al pabellón Genshin, ok. Ya vamos, ¿no? Ok, acá vamos. La princesa de pelo azul. La princesa de pelo azul. La princesa de pelo azul. Que es una de las hijas de la reina. Bien.
It looks like we're all here.
¿Sí?
Well then, time for me to announce the results of the assessment process.
Perfecto.
I won't drone on about the importance of the Tianshu role. Suffice to say that Uncle Tien entrusted me with the monumentally important task of assessing the candidates. And now, it falls to me to give him a satisfactory answer.
Perfecto.
All of us here know the score. Don't beat around the bush. Just get on with it.
Qianwei has many pioneering ideas, but some of his plans are lacking in detail, and he easily gets into testy exchanges with other people. Mingbo is reliable, but not quite ambitious enough, and because of his personality, he struggles to win people over. In contrast, Zhi is evenly balanced across the board, and enjoys an excellent reputation in Liyue. After much consideration, I have decided to recommend Zhi to the Liyue Qixing.
What?
Oh, congratulations.
Oh.
Thank you. Honestly, I'm a little surprised to hear my name being announced. In my estimation, all three of us are worthy candidates for the Tianshu position. As your competitor, I've become keenly aware of your great talents. Would either of you entertain the possibility of working with me in the future and taking on some of my workload?
I'll have to see. I'm in a bad mood. This is the last thing I want to be thinking about right now.
I don't mind, as long as I can help.
Oh.
Okay, well, that's all from me. Zhi, you'll have some preparation to do. It won't be long before you're informed of your official appointment. I hope you will work hard and make Uncle Tien proud.
Okay.
I will live up to the Tianshu name. On this, you have my word. I should go. I need to pack my things, and then I think a celebratory meal is in order. Would anyone like to join me?
Count me out. I'm not in the mood for a celebration.
He seems pretty relaxed now. This would be a good time to follow him.
Hey, traveler, tell me something. What exactly does that guy have that I don't? If you can't answer that, I'm not accepting this result.
Huh.
I, also wouldn't mind knowing.
No, if we get stuck here, we won't be able to leave.
Oh, wait.
Follow him.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfecto. Después de quedar convencidos se fueron.
Lady Yelan, Zhi has gone towards Feiyun Slope.
Perfecto.
Follow him, quickly.
So Jerry really sided with the Fatui? But Uncle Tian thinks so highly of him. Why would he do this?
Porque ese era el plan desde el comienzo.
But everything should become a lot clearer when we find him.
Sí. Ah, bueno, es aquí abajo. Permiso por la campana. ¡Wii!
I'm sorry, Lady Yelan. We lost him.
Ah.
He's too good at this. We weren't able to keep following him without being seen.
How the heck did he manage to shake Yelan's subordinates?
Es muy bueno.
I guess Jerry didn't let his guard down. Still as vigilant as ever.
No, Upe says he's much more relaxed than usual. Maybe it's just how he's wired. Perceptive enough to sense when he's being watched.
But how?
Don't blame yourselves. Let's not forget he was trained by Uncle Tian himself. Evading detection is not an unusual skill for him to have.
Sí, okay.
If I'd asked you to tail Uncle Tian, you'd have ended up at a dead end too. It's fine. So, where did you lose him?
Xinyue kiosk. He only went in briefly. Upe and I were watching outside the whole time. A few moments later, a man dressed in a completely different outfit came out. Upe had a feeling that it was him, but we couldn't get close enough to check without blowing our cover.
Sí.
I figured that if we spooked him, it would undo what we've accomplished today so far. Another option would have been to arrest him there and then, but without any evidence, that would have been meaningless. So I stopped Upe, and I stayed here to wait for you while that meathead went to ask around in Xinyue kiosk.
Good work.
Sí.
The fish didn't take the bait, but that's okay. As long as he's still swimming around, we'll find a way to catch him eventually. The key is figuring out what he's trying to achieve. Let's go to Xinyue kiosk.
Okay. Me parece bien.
Senua kiosk. Place to go for classic UA dishes.
Perfecto.
Could you explain to me how that works? A guy like him comes in, changes his whole outfit right under your nose, and you don't even ask him about it?
Our customers are free to dress however they please. What grounds would I have to question him?
Okay, fair enough, but didn't you think it was just a little bit strange?
Well, maybe I did, but it still doesn't give me the right to stop him.
Enough. Let's tone this down a little. I'll make this quick. Just one question. What did he buy while he was here?
Oh, he didn't buy anything. He just picked up a bottle of liquor that he ordered ages ago.
A bottle of liquor?
Yes, a very strong kind. Fiery, with a rich flavor. Not something the average customer would order. This gentleman ordered it in person from us a long time ago. He was only here today to pick it up.
Liquor and wineware. I see. Let's go.
Okay.
Where to?
Shigu Antiques.
Ah, comprendo. Comprendo. Ok. Ya sé qué es lo que está pasando. Ok, vamos por las antigüedades. Hola. Normalmente no estás en el día, pero ya que...
Hey, Miss Linlong. Sorry to bother you. Zhi ordered a wanware set from you not long ago, right? We're friends of his. He's been telling us how impressed he is with the quality, considering how affordable it was. So we just had to come and take a look for ourselves.
Sure. Which model are you looking for?
We don't really know a whole lot about wineware. Let's just go with Zhi's choice. Would you be able to show us the one he bought?
Jur-E picked up his set not long ago. As a quality imitation of an antique wineware set, it has the look and feel of a luxury item. Just so you're aware, we don't have many of this model left in stock, and now that Mr. Jur-E has taken one, I'm afraid it may encourage the price to go up a little.
Huh.
Don't worry, price shouldn't be an issue. I'm sure we can work something out. But I'm just a little hazy on one thing. Did Jur-E's wineware set include wine glasses, or...?
For this set, the wine glasses are sold separately. Minimum purchase is 1 glass, maximum is 4. Mr. Jur-E bought 2.
Okay. Thanks, Lin Long. Seems there's a little more to buying wineware than I first thought. We'll have to mull it over.
Well, don't take too long. We could sell out any day now. Alright, see you next time.
This is turning into a real headache.
Ejército de
I'd
pollos.
just like to point out that we have the self-professed Grand Master of Fieldwork here to thank for being wholly incapable of tailing an ordinary civilian without being seen.
It's not like you did any better.
My specialty is information trading, okay? I don't have the physical agility. What's your excuse?
Fair point.
Elon, so has the plan failed? Oh, if we can't figure out where Jerry went, there's not much we can do. But why was he buying liquor at Shinue Kiosk anyway? To celebrate?
If so, it's no ordinary celebration.
What do you mean?
Huh.
First of all, Jur-E isn't much of a drinker. On some level, he hates alcohol because of what it did to his father.
Sí.
If he was just looking to celebrate by himself, he wouldn't spend his meager savings on an expensive bottle of alcohol, let alone buy a pair of special wine glasses.
Sí.
No, this is a victory feast, held in honor of Jur-E's private sponsor. Whoever this person is clearly enjoys hard liquor and has a very high status, hence the need for expensive-looking wineware. Now, where might we find Fatui who match that description, I wonder?
Fatui officials.
El
Should
banco?
be either the Snezhnayan Embassy or the Northland Bank.
Have both locations surrounded. Take as many people as you need.
Lady Yelan, is it time for us to make our move? If so, you can count me in.
Get with the program, would you? This is a covert surveillance operation. Jur-E may be vigilant, but that doesn't mean the same is true for his drinking buddy. In which case, we don't need to change tactics. Just change who we're following.
Great idea! So we just need to find out who Jur-E bought that liquor for and follow them instead!
Sí.
But Lady Yelan, if we get caught, this could become a major diplomatic incident.
I'm well aware, but don't you see? Jur-E is gambling everything on this. If we really want to catch him, we're going to have to accept a little risk ourselves.
Sí.
Stick to your orders, and make sure we're covering all other bases too. Anywhere else Jur-E might be going. I want eyes on those locations.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't worry, Lady Yelan. Jur-E may be a slippery character, but we'll keep a close watch on the movements of all Fatui officials.
Perfecto.
I'll be waiting for you at the tea house. If I'm guessing correctly, Fatui officials are likely to take action at night. You should go and get ready. Then meet me at Yenshang Tea House.
Perfecto. Muchas razas era un tema que me gusta que exploraran. Sería una idea para un anime tipo Battle Royale, ya veo. Oh, por Dios, entonces es igual que Killing Bites, amigo mío. Porque si es así, ya esa idea existe. Killing Bites, si ya viste ese anime, tiene una escena que me encanta.
Perfect timing. Wenyuan just sent word that the Fatui ambassador, Yusupov, just left the embassy alone. He's heading in the direction of Qingshu Pool.
Okay.
Qingshu Pool? That's the place Jerry mentioned in his manifesto.
It looks like that's where they've arranged to meet. Sensible choice, I'll give them that. Qingshu Pool is always crawling with monsters. Most people wouldn't dream of going there. It's one place they won't need to worry about being seen.
Oh no, we gotta go get them!
Perfecto.
Let's go. If my hunch is correct, we just might hit the jackpot this time.
Dirígete al estanque Shinshu, ¿ok? Voilà. Ya estamos. Allá vamos. Okay.
This is Qingshu Pool, full of ruins, crawling with monsters. Anyone with any sense steers well clear of this place. I've looked into the place before. There's a worker's entrance somewhere around here. Follow me.
Okay.
There's been some work done on this place in the past, but it's a bit of a labyrinth inside. I can't guarantee we'll be safe once we're underground. The workers left an emergency access route. If we can find it, this will be a much easier journey.
Sí, porque Killing Bites no ha terminado. No ha terminado. Ese final es simplemente como el final del primer arco, amigo mío. En Killing Bites. Y usted sabe cuál escena fue la que me encantó, ¿verdad? Supongo. Ah, y entonces a lo que te refieres es más como Dead Man Wonderland. Dead Man Wonderland. Ay, ay, ay.
Still, be ready to fight at any moment. Any resistance needs to be taken out quickly and quietly.
Diga la escena que me
We won't
gustó.
attract too much attention.
Esa es la que me
Don't
gustó.
worry, we're all professionals here.
Ujú.
By the way, Yelan, where are your 3 little helpers at?
They have other things to take care of first. We couldn't afford to wait for them, but they'll join us later.
Ok. Aquí vamos. Aquí vamos, ¿no? Voilà. Aquí vamos. Le pusieron a esta... No la mía, obviamente. Nobleza. Está mal.
Quietly now.
Quiero ver cuánta recarga de energía tiene también. 25 allá. 26.000 de vida, qué demencia.
Take it easy.
Oh, les quedó.
Here comes the cat.
¡Au, au, au! Rayos.
As I expected, but this shouldn't be too much trouble.
Perfecto. Rábano. Rábano, rábano, rábano. Esto no se quema, es falso, ok. Donde las chicas manosean por culpa de unas hormonas en el aire. Sí. Y se besuquean y todo. Ay, Dios. Mis dos chicas favoritas del anime. Entonces, supuesto que sí.
That's gotta be the Fatui ambassador here to meet Ji.
Sí.
Looks like he went through that door. That must be the emergency access route, right? Come on, let's hurry.
Ok, perfecto. Bien hecho, amigo mío. Ya veo que nos conocemos, que nos estamos conociendo mejor. Vale. Perfecto. Interesante.
Gotcha.
Oz, reveal thyself.
Ajá, la aventurera tiene invulnerabilidad mientras hace eso y tras de eso y tras de eso. Mientras la aventurera hace este remolino, tiene invulnerabilidad, es invencible, no la mueven ni nada. Y tras de eso se cura vida por cierta cantidad de daño que hace. Jaja. Que sorry por ti, esos giros no van a hacerle nada a ella. ¿Sí? Y sobre su pregunta, que me gusta el Yuri, sí. También tradicional si quiere. Ah, por supuesto, a mí me gusta lo tradicional, obviamente. Pero también me encanta el Yuri. Aunque usted no lo crea, yo tengo muchas cosas que me gustan. Yo soy alguien bastante abierto. Soy alguien con la mente muy abierta.
This is the construction workers' emergency access route, but it's closed tight. Trying to break through would be risky. Let's see if we can find another way.
Primero ir activando todas estas, ¿no? Ups. Hola. Perfecto. ¿Un cofre por aquí o algo así? No, pero hay cajas. No tenían verduras ni nada, qué demencia. Esperaba las verduras. Oh, no. Listo. Me gusta hacer eso. Windblade. Ok, espérese antes de eso. No, en serio, no tienen ni verduras, ni mora, ni nada. Qué demencia. Ni pedazos de carne. Pobres. Ok. Lo supuse. Pero ahora hago. Rang, rang, boom. ¿Dónde lo llevo? Cofre. frutas ni nada, qué demencia. No puedo abrirlo, está bloqueado por esto. Ok. Hola. Ah, bueno. Se murió. Ah, Rábanos, gracias. Son muy amables. Sí. No había nada más ahí, ¿verdad? No, no había nada más ahí, ok. Vémosla entonces. Sí. Hey, denme ese cofre. Bien, gracias. Ah, pues eran pedazos de fruta. Por los dos ahora. Perfecto. Cofre. ¿Qué pago? No puedo abrirlo ok, necesito para estos. Listo. Voilà. Ahora puedo ir por acá y sí, el resto ya es... El resto ya lo encontré, ok. Perfecto. Simplemente es poner las dos flamas allá. ¡Vuela, vuela! Sin ti ya no tengo equipaje. Listo. ¡Oh, por Dios! ¡Miren eso! Aventurero, hemos visto eso todo el tiempo. ¡Cierto! Pero es genial. ¡Wow! ¡Qué tonis! En serio, genial. Buen sistema. Me pregunto si la gente que abre eso tiene que hacer esto todo el tiempo.
The waters flowed into the groove, and now the statues have lit up. Okay, now we should be able to move the statues.
Perfecto. No, son las 3 de fuego. Ok, perfecto. Entonces vamos aquí. Ok, primero que todo estaba acá. Estaba acá. Allá. Esto aquí. Ok. Ok. Acá. Y... ¿Cómo es que lo hace, mae? Aún no sé. Es un experto haciendo acertijos. No sé cómo lo resuelve. Por Dios, mae. Es increíble. Dios de los acertijos. Así soy yo. Ok. Avancemos.
We should be nearly at the bottom now. Let's wrap this up.
No, tengo miedo, dice la aventurera, dice que ojedita. Espérese, ¿qué? Yes. Creo que mis baterías están bajas, tal vez las de mi teclado. Hola, chico grandote. Fue puchica, hasta que me acerqué un montón. Me doy cuenta que está aquí, ¿ah?
Busted.
Look at you, Boozle.
No rest for the wicked.
Quietly now.
Hey. Rayos. No, hice mal esto. Tenía que hacer primero... Bueno, da lo mismo. Okay. Rayos, no era eso. Me enredé completamente. Porque quería hacer un combo, pero lo hice todo mal. Bien hecho, Diona. Ok. Hice el combo todo mal. Y cuando hice el combo mal, me descontrolé. Bien que no te reíste de mis gustos, colega. Ah, no. Yo no me río de los gustos de nadie. Por eso se llaman gustos. Por cierto, tal vez tengamos mucho de esto por Sumeru. De este tipo de ambiente, aquí así. Esta vegetación y esas cosas así. Tal vez. Pues se supone que es tropical y un desierto. Hay una parte tropical y otra parte que es un desierto. Hola.
I can tell from the aroma that this is very fine liquor indeed. I'm impressed.
You soup up.
Come on, bottoms up. After you, of course.
Ese es el colaborador.
Oh, sorry, that went down the wrong way. I've never drunk anything this strong before. It'll take me some getting used to.
You'll get there. If you want to stay friends with us, you have to drink with us.
I'll do my best.
You're more of a lightweight than I thought. Already struggling after one glass? I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You certainly kept it together when you were poisoning your teacher's soup.
Whoa!
Come on, another round. Less talking, more drinking.
Es por eso que el tío Tian se sentía más débil. No era porque estaba envejeciendo. Era porque lo estaban envenenando. ¡Wow! Sí leíste lo de arriba, ¿verdad? Sí, sí, sí. Sí leí lo del chico, ¿verdad? Si no hay un chico en medio. Si no hay un chico en medio, llámame tradicional si quieres, sí, había leído eso. Hay un plato en Tebat que tiene una hierba parecida a la marihuana. ¿Ah, sí? ¿Y?
Sure. You didn't leave me much of a choice though, did you? Just the mention of poisoning sends shivers down my spine.
No me dejaste mucha opción. ¿Lo forzaron?
I'm more timid than you realize. Every time I poisoned him, I had to hide away at home for a few days because I was so scared of getting caught.
Look, I know it has not been easy for you, my friend. We appreciate all your hard work. But, I have to say, you really are quite a genius at poisoning people. I mean, the poison we brought from Snezhnaya is as strong as this wine, but you found a way to turn it into an imperceptible, slow-acting poison, and came up with the idea of delivering it through fish soup. What was it you said? Oh, yeah. You said the soup's fishy flavor neutralizes the pungency of the poison, and this process even makes the soup tastier as a result. How did you think of that?
Eso es, dinos todo, amigo mío.
It struck me one day when I was fishing. I'm lucky it did. Otherwise, I'm not sure I would have been able to fool Uncle Tien.
You have performed excellently. The Fatui will continue to provide the support you need to consolidate your position as Tianshu. Of course, this is as long as you continue to do as we instruct. Aside from Qingshu Pool, we also have some other requests for you, which we will inform you of in due course.
Don't worry. Whatever tasks you have for me, I will perform them diligently.
Did you hear that? It was poison! That's why Uncle Tian hasn't been feeling well recently. It's all Jurye's doing.
Sí, lo estaba envenenando. El muy bastardo. El tío Tian no era que estaba viejo, era que se estaba muriendo por veneno.
What a nasty guy. Seize him!
Hold on. Did you bring a camera? If not, you can use mine. This is quite a scene. We have to capture it for posterity.
Una foto. Capturas una imagen de Shishin y Jobso juntos.
Excellent liquor. We've seen no progress on the diplomatic front, and everyone has been eyeing up the treasure of Qingshu Pool. It's been a real headache for me. But soon, everything will be taken care of, and I can report back on a successful mission. Thank you, Juryi. I remember when I first saw you. I knew right away that you would make a good partner for us. Hey, do you still remember what I said to you?
How could I forget? You said a lowly commoner like me could never be seen as a serious candidate for the Tianshu, no matter how hard I work. The only way is for you to shine bright in the Tianshu's darkest moment. I think you were absolutely right.
Yes. Under normal circumstances, the gap between you and other people could only ever grow wider over time. Just look at your two competitors. Chen Wei had wealth. Ming Boa had reputation. But you had nothing. You were just another nobody. And that's why I decided to help you. You know, there's an old saying in the Fatui. Give a starving dog a bone, and it'll guard your home for the rest of its life.
Yes. I cannot thank you enough for your generous support.
¿Sabe qué creo que va a pasar? Bueno, primero creo que Shinji, no sé si quería hacerlo o no, no estoy muy seguro si él quería hacerlo o no, envenenar al tío Tian. No sé si es que lo forzaron o si en verdad quería hacerlo, tal vez si en verdad sí quería hacerlo, da lo mismo. El punto es que ahorita no está feliz con el Fatui y creo que lo está envenenando también. O quién sabe. Porque se siente molesto por la forma en que le está hablando.
You know, the best thing about you is that you do as you're told without complaining. Hey, keep up the good work, and I can assure you, you'll never have to worry about Mora again. Heck, when you're not in the company of the Fatui, you'll be able to throw your weight around as much as you want. How about that?
Uncle Gao said that Jur-E has low self-esteem. Seems he was right. He was worried that whatever advantage he might have now will diminish over time, so the Fatui persuaded him that he should act while he can. Do you have any more film in the camera?
Tengo de sobra.
Then get ready to use it. Tonight's grand finale should be coming up any minute now.
De acuerdo.
How well this goes for us depends on how Jur-E plays his hand.
Ooh, is there any more alcohol? Go on. Fill me up. I'm in a good mood today, and I'm gonna drink my fill. Make sure to get me home safely afterward.
There's only a little left. Here, I'll fill your glass. If you like it, I can bring you some more next time.
Con la forma en que lo vio. Sí, claro, por supuesto. Te serviré más, desgraciado. Toma, bebe. Está para morirse. Rayos, qué mala broma.
This is the good stuff. It is great. Huh? What the?
Sí, yo sabía. El diplomático Fatui muestra una expresión de dolor y cae al suelo.
You poisoned my wine? But when?
You seem surprised, Mr. Yusupov.
How could you?
How could I not? I've sacrificed years of my life studying and reflecting to prepare myself for this position. And in the end, I even had to poison my own teacher. You really think I'd put myself through all that just to become your little puppet? I don't want to bow down to anyone ever again. And that includes you.
You imbecile. It's the Fatui who got you to where you are. Do you understand? If I disappear with no explanation, the embassy will come after you. They'll get to the bottom of this. Mark my words.
Do you see the haystack in the corner? Underneath it is a pile of explosives. And next door in the dark room are the 3 undercover agents you sent to infiltrate the Black Cliff Forge.
Whoa!
I'm gonna stay here till I see you slip into unconsciousness. Then I'm gonna set this on fire. Once the flames burn through the hay, they'll ignite the explosives, the ruins will collapse, and everything will be buried.
Eres malo, Gigi, pero me gusta tu estilo. Eres un desgraciado bastardo. Eres malvado, pero me gusta tu estilo.
What do you hope to?
I took the liberty of leaving some evidence of your contact with the undercover agents at the Black Cliff Forge.
Bueno, los Fatui siempre han sido humanos.
For people to join the dots. 2 missing person cases will become one as the truth gradually reveals itself.
Los Fatui siempre han sido humanos, amigo mío.
The Fatui planted undercover agents in the Black Cliff Forge to steal their signature ruin-grade explosives. Their plan was to blow through the solid floor tiles in the dead of night and seize the treasure of Qingshu Pool. But things didn't quite go to plan. Mistakes were made that led to the accidental deaths of the entire crew. Faced with the overwhelming evidence, the embassy won't investigate this any further. In fact, they'll be only too happy to blame it all on a rogue operation by you. It explains why you acted alone, while exonerating the rest of the embassy of any liability. Of course, none of that will have anything to do with me. When all of this comes to my attention, I'm afraid I'll have no choice but to cancel the Qingshu Pool redevelopment plan immediately. I guess then, I'll be Tianshu in my own right, with a clean record and well out of the Fatui's reach.
Cherry, do you really think you're gonna get away with this? The Fatui has a record of everything. That includes the poison, all interactions between us, even my trip here tonight. After I die, they'll come looking, and they'll get to the bottom of this.
A record? Oh, you must mean the one in the hands of your second-in-command, Theophan?
How do you know about that?
Because when you contacted me, I also made contact with your associates. I have Theophan to thank for providing me with the poison I used on you today. He'll help me tie up all the loose ends. After all, your untimely demise comes with a few perks for him. He has been eyeing your position for a long time now.
That traitor! Cherry, you...
Shh. Relax. It's over. After tonight, everyone gets what they want. And anyone else in the know is either my accomplice or about to be taken out of the picture.
Debo admitirlo. Sí, monólogo de villano. Pero lo hace muy bien y su actuación de voz es muy buena. Shh, tranqui. Todos van a tener lo que quieren. Mis cómplices ni siquiera. Me encanta, es muy Donis.
Sweet dreams, Mr. Yusupov.
Huh. 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 Te atrapamos. Oh. Sigue Yelan. Hola. ¿Interrumpo?
I did a little surveying on the way here and found that you'd left yourself 3 escape routes in case things went south. I have them all surrounded. If you're thinking of trying anything, save yourself the effort. The game's up. We were here the whole time and have pictures of everything. They came out pretty nicely. Want to see them?
The game's up? Forgive me, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, Miss Yelan. I happened to discover a Fatui operation here, so I approached them on the pretext of joining forces and eventually brought them down from within. If it pleases you, Miss Yelan, I'd be only too happy to have you join me in investigating this matter.
Oh. ASMR asesino.
This is how you want to play it, huh? Fine. You do you. All we need to do to convict you is establish that the poison in his system is the same as in Uncle Tien's.
Sí.
Nothing else you wanted to add? Let's leave it there then. Time to go.
One wrong move and it all comes crashing down. I should have been more careful.
Sí.
You followed him here, didn't you? I was so focused on keeping myself out of sight, I forgot he was a potential liability. Let's talk about this, Yelan. I gave you my word that I would live up to the Tianshu name, and that much I can still guarantee.
No. No.
Your point being?
When I take office, I can guarantee that I will act in your best interests. In fact, all of you here tonight can expect very generous treatment in the future. I don't deny that I used underhanded methods to get here. But given my lowly origins, what other choice did I have?
No.
You still don't get it, do you? Even now. What do you think?
¿Qué pensaría el tío Tien? El tío Tien siempre confía en ti. Siempre confió en ti.
Exactly. Jur-E, clever people can always come up with a good excuse. But while you might be able to get other people to believe you, you'll never be able to deceive yourself.
Huh.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to win other people's respect, but when has Uncle Tien ever looked down on you?
Envenenaste a la única persona que confiaba en ti. Todos los demás te despreciaban. Y por eso querías el puesto, para demostrarle a las personas que eras alguien bueno y que tenías la capacidad de hacerlo. Y es cierto, tienes toda la capacidad de hacerlo. Pero envenenaste a la única persona que en verdad confiaba en ti.
He was like a teacher and a father to you, but you chose to repay that by poisoning him. Whatever positive goal you may have started out with, you threw it away in that moment.
Sí. No importa qué buen motivo tengas, qué buena razón tengas, qué buenas intenciones tienes. Los métodos para hacerlo son lo que definen qué tipo de carácter tienes. Como dice la buena frase, la vieja frase, el camino al infierno está pavimentado con buenas intenciones.
That's enough.
Of course. What makes this even crueler is that you managed to convince yourself there was no other way. Uncle Tien was always going to give you this opportunity, even if you'd done nothing at all.
Sí, eso es cierto. Eso es cierto. Eso es cierto. Él siempre le hubiera dado esa oportunidad. No importa qué.
Out of everyone in the world, he is the one who trusts you the most. So much that he drank your fish soup without doubting you, not for 1 second.
That's enough. That's enough.
Life is like fishing. It cannot be rushed.
El pasado.
Whatever you do, impatience will accomplish nothing. I was just like you once, desperate to prove myself. Only later did I realize things do not always turn out the way you plan. But you have to keep calm to carry on. You're still young. Be patient, believe in yourself, and don't look outside yourself to prove your value. Where's Jury these days? It's been a long time since he last paid me a visit.
Aww.
Maybe he's just busy.
Well, next time, if he doesn't bring a pot of piping hot fish soup, don't let him in.
Whatever you were thinking about, you'll have plenty of time to mull it over in prison. Oh, I almost forgot. If the Fatui find out what happened today, prison might not turn out to be the safest place for you. Trying to have friends on both sides, it has a way of turning everyone against you. But right now, I have an opportunity for you.
La impaciencia lleva a que cometas errores.
Sorry, things are about to get extremely busy for me. Let's meet at Genshin Tea House tomorrow morning.
¿De acuerdo?
I'll have someone remove the explosives. Then, there's someone I have to go and see.
Need our help with that?
No, it could be dangerous. You should leave this one to the professionals.
Ten cuidado.
Don't worry. As long as they're willing to cooperate, this'll be a straightforward deal. Get some rest. See you tomorrow.
Nos vemos. Rayos. ¡Lo logramos! ¿Por qué no me siento feliz? ¡Ganamos! ¿Por qué la victoria se siente tan vacía? Rayos. Por tanto, yo también pensé que iba a hacer eso. Cuando botó las fotografías, cuando tiró las fotografías de las manos de Yelan, yo pensé que iba a hacer eso. Yo, este mae va a matarse. Espera hasta el día siguiente a las 8 horas, ok. ¡Una mariposa! ¡Chocho! 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 ¡Luciérnagas! ¡Mariposas! ¡Luciérnagas! 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 Ahora de mariposa. ¿Cómo será? ¡Ah! Parecía. Ah, rayos, esto no era. Ah, ahora que estoy aquí. No, esto va a tomar mucho tiempo después, mejor. A mí me gustó un montón la historia. Me pareció bastante interesante. El final, la enseñanza, todo lo que llevó este pequeño misterio. Me agradó bastante. Por cierto, a mí me encantó la nueva historia de Archon con Xiao, Yanfei, Ito y Shinobu. Muy bonita también. Me gustó bastante. Buenas y malas noticias.
There is now no poison left in his system, but recovery from the damage already done will not happen overnight.
Dr. Baiju, is my father going to be...
You needn't worry too much. Keep taking the prescribed medicine every day, and a full recovery will take at most 2 to 3 years.
Wow, perfecto, entonces.
It's good we caught it in time. A few days later and the toxin would have built up in the internal organs. At that point, things would have been much more serious.
How did they successfully secure such a seldom-seen poison? It seems the Fatui are extremely resourceful.
De hecho.
Unfortunately for them, they were up against us.
Uncle Tien will be heading off now. Remember to get plenty of rest and avoid overexerting yourself while you're recovering.
Don't worry, I will. Thank you very much.
El viejo sigue vivo, sí. Hola, Baishu. Gracias, Baishu. Adiós, Baishu.
Ah, you're here too? Thank you for all you've done to resolve this situation. I'll have to make some tea in a moment. You simply have to try it.
¿Te sientes mejor?
Yes. The exhaustion seems to have gone. My mind is steadily getting clearer again.
Luckily, it looks like choosing the Tianshu's successor is suddenly not such a pressing issue after all.
Hey, Yelan!
My work is mostly wrapped up, so I thought I'd take a minute to check in here.
Okay.
The assessment process comes to an end here, Uncle Tien. In my opinion, Zhi is not suitable for the position. But Qianwei and Mingbo both have potential.
Sí.
You have my gratitude. People can change their loyalties easily.
Sí.
I've always known this. But whenever it happens, it's still a dismal experience.
Sí.
Is it just Paimon, or is Uncle Tien not that surprised?
Don't underestimate Uncle Tien. He wouldn't have appointed me as assessment officer if he hadn't had his doubts about Zhi. Normally, the Yuehai Pavilion would be responsible for assessing the candidates. Isn't that right, Uncle Tien?
Yes, to be quite honest, I wanted to trust him unreservedly. But I have to be responsible with the position of Tianshu. When I first met Zhi, I wondered if he had approached me with a hidden agenda. So I secretly investigated him. I concluded that he had no ulterior motives whatsoever. He just saw me as an ordinary fishing friend. In the end, even he changed. But when did it start?
¿Qué habría ocurrido si nada de esto hubiera pasado?
I never had any plans to recommend him directly, but I always intended to give him the chance to compete on a level playing field.
Sí.
Family background and fame mean everything to many people, but I don't attach great importance to them. I had no reputation to speak of when I first became Tianshu. I relied on Ganyu's assistance for all manner of things. What I really admired about Zhi was his intelligence and resilience.
I have to admit, he's a smart guy, and very cautious. The intel suggests that the Fatui saw him as very low risk, but Zhi was still extremely careful with the poisoning. He chose that specific liquor from Xinyue Kiosk because the fiery flavor would mask the bitterness of the poison. And he chose to wait until the Fatui official was drunk and had his guard down before delivering it to him. He also installed a secret compartment in the wine pot he bought to hold the poison.
Whoa!
As the amount of liquor went down, he'd shake the pot to release the poison from the compartment into the liquor. Afterwards, we also found he had an antidote on him. Had the Fatui official grown suspicious, Zhi would have drunk the poisoned wine himself, and then found an opportunity to take the antidote shortly afterwards.
¡Wow!
But that's still really dangerous.
Sí. ¡Wow! Ese man está tomando un montón de apuestas y riesgos y demencias. ¡Súper listo! Solo que él perdió no por él, sino por la gente con la que se relacionaba.
Yes. Had he drunk the poisonous wine, he still would have faced serious health consequences despite taking the antidote. He didn't hesitate to put himself in harm's way to achieve his goal.
How is Zhi now?
Oh.
Well, I mean, he is sitting in a jail cell. Like Yanfei says, everyone who breaks the law has to pay the price. Still, he's cooperating. He didn't turn down my offer to strike a deal. I'll make sure there are plenty of guards around to keep him safe from anything the Fatui might be planning.
Sí.
A deal? Does this have to do with what you said to him when you arrested him?
Sí.
Yes, Jur-E's not the one I'm interested in. If he was as far as this went, I'd have handed the case off to my subordinates as soon as I realized. But once the Fatui became involved, things got a whole lot more interesting. I thought I might have the chance to catch a big fish.
Well, did you?
Almost. Unfortunately, it slipped off the hook at the last second.
Uncle Tien, Yelan, what are you talking about?
Paimon
doesn't understand.
es fácil de entender.
Jur-E colluded with the Fatui to try and secure the position of Tianshu. Or, to put it the other way around, the Fatui made an attempt to interfere in the Tianshu selection process. With Yusupov in our hands, and a statement from Jur-E, we could afford to continue with a diplomatic offensive. Also, we'd be able to gain control of Theophan, Yusupov's second-in-command. Then we'd have a pawn in the ranks of the Fatui. Pawns like this can be major assets. They open up all sorts of new options.
Sí, perfecto. Ese era tu plan desde el principio.
Why else did you think I was investing so much time and effort into this case?
So, okay, well, did your plan succeed?
We got halfway. The first part went off without a hitch, and we passed all the information on to Lady Ningguang. But when we tried to make contact with Theophan, he was gone.
Supongo que esa era, supongo que esa era la referencia al compartimiento, ¿no?
The Fatui must be spying on us. Otherwise, they'd never been able to respond so quickly.
I found out from other sources that the Harbinger, Regrator, got involved. The Fatui's main forces aren't concentrated here. Regrator was only treating this as a peripheral concern.
El regatero, un nuevo, ¿cómo se llama? Una nueva élite de los Fatuis. Ya conocimos a la señora, conocimos a Child, conocimos a el sombrero ese, el otro, no me acuerdo el nombre. Y ahora el cuarto, son 11. Interesante. Y es la primera vez que lo mencionan. Otro de los Fatuis, otro de la élite de los Fatuis.
It's a pity that Theophan got away, but knowing which Harbingers are still looking at Liyue is something. It gives me a starting point for my next mission.
Uno de los 11, sí. Uno de los 11. Ok.
I have to ask, Yelan, do you have any desire to take over the position of Tianshu yourself? I remember you showed some interest a few days ago at Yenshang Tea House. In my estimation, you are more than competent.
Oh, that. I was obviously joking. I prefer my current life. There's danger and there's excitement. Although it'd still be a behind-the-scenes role. As Tianshu, I wouldn't have the chance to get involved in anything truly clandestine or face any real danger. Alright, I'm done here. Time for me to go. I'm heading off again in a few days and I still have to prepare.
Where are you off to this time?
As you might have guessed, it's for me to know and you to find out. But I'm sure if you keep going as you are, getting yourselves involved in other people's business all the time, you're sure to get caught up in another misadventure before too long. Maybe I'll see you the next time danger beckons. Until then, keep your wits about you. A lot of people are watching you for a lot of reasons.
Lo sé, y es muy importante.
If you have any more questions, just ask Uncle Tien. After the recent turn of events, I'd say he owes you one, wouldn't you?
Adiós, Yelan. Una apuesta calculada.
What would you like to know?
Sobre acerca de Yelan.
I first met Yelan when she was very young. Even back then, she was extremely tough, and she kept her cards close to her chest. An old friend of mine once privately commented to me that Yelan is always smiling, but never with her eyes. She is a very dangerous person. Something of an exaggeration in my view. At least, I know she would never hurt the people she trusts. What would you like to know?
Sobre el regatero.
Regrator is the 9th of the Fatui Harbingers.
El noveno.
Likely the first among them where wealth is concerned.
Es el número 9. Child era el número 11. Child era el más débil. Tartaglia era el más débil. Él es el número 9. Ok. Y es el que más tiene dinero, el regatero.
However, his wealth is not a mere question of how much more he has to his name. He has a very unique understanding of wealth. And what he's planning may very well shake the world to its core. Beyond that, I don't have a lot of information about him. If you need to know more in the future, you can ask Ningguang.
Okay.
What would you like to know?
Sobre el próximo eje celestial.
As Yelan says, now that I'm on the mend, I should have another few years worth of work in me. During this time, I plan to gradually hand over my duties while mentoring some new candidates.
Oh, bueno.
That reminds me. Chen Wei and Ming Bo are still waiting downstairs. I must go and have a chat with them shortly. What would you like to know?
Sobre Shinji.
Something I've said to Jury, Chen Wei, and Ming Bo before is that while cunning and scheming are quite crucial, even more important than this is staying true to yourself. Jury and Ambassador Yusupov each saw each other as a means to an end. They thought that if they could just outsmart their opponent, they would emerge the final victor. And yet, in the eyes of Yelan and Regrator, they are but pawns in a much bigger game.
Sí.
Scheming is an endless endeavor. If you can't cope with it, you're better off staying out of it. It gives you a much clearer view in any case.
Sí.
Everyone has self-interest, but you cannot let it be your master. So, don't fight over fleeting gains and losses. Rather, focus on the direction your heart is leading you.
Wow.
Keep moving forward.
Qué bueno. Qué bueno estuvo eso al final. Muchas gracias, tío Tian. En cualquier caso, gracias a todas las personas que estuvieron aquí viendo la grabación en YouTube. Recuerden mi Twitter, Twitch y Discord se encuentran abajo en la descripción y nos vemos la próxima vez con más Genshin Impact. Bye bye. Bye bye. Me encantó la historia.